Good morning, my dear students of JEE 2025. This is your last final session, your last academic session, I would say, for your 2025. Yes, there might be few more sessions for BITSAT and IIT that is definitely going to be there, but I know most of our focus is on JEE, JEE, and JEE. So, how does it feel? And I hope you guys are all ready, geared up for the day. And don't worry, the questions are not very hard, but they are not very simple also, because one of the most important advice even the toppers will tell you, never do something on the last 3 days which feels very difficult, or very extremely challenging that you feel like, okay, I have left out a lot. So this will also boost your confidence and also teach you a lot of concepts along with the questions that we are going to solve. Okay, so eye opener session for all the JEE Advanced 2025 aspirants. Welcome aboard one last time. Hi Sanskriti, hi Ibu, Gokul, Harborine, Mukesh, Laksh, Mr. Nothing, Akash. Week in chemistry, can you still watch this? Definitely, why not? Because you have to score bare minimum marks in every subject to get a seat. There are many students who are very good in physics and maths, and they miss out their IIT seat because they don't clear one subject cutoff. So don't be that person. Okay, get that bare minimum score and use your strengths to secure a good rank. But don't give up on chemistry. Try your best. You never know what might come. Okay, so let's begin, my dear students. This is supposed to be 2025. I think by mistake on the thumbnail, it is printed as 2026. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys. This was not supposed to be 2026. This is supposed to be 2025. I think it has happened by mistake. I'll get it corrected. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. So let's begin. This is 2025 session. Okay. This is the last session, or else students of 2026 are thinking, sir, what are you saying? Last session, we have just started. Okay. Great. Yeah. 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 My bad. My bad. Oh, sorry, guys. Some 26 students are here and they are shocked by Shreyas sir telling this is the last class. Okay, guys, your classes are going to begin. Okay. So 2025, yes, the last class. Okay, for JEE. So this is my introduction. I hope, guys, you too will put NIT, IIT in your introduction one day. Okay, and all the best for your JEE Advanced examination. Quickly smash that like button, your last Guru Dakshina, and also subscribe to the Vedantu JEE English channel. So let's begin. And it's okay, guys, even if you're 26, 27 student, you can still watch it, assuming you have some fair amount of knowledge. So there are students of 4 classes who are measuring the height of a building. Each class uses a different method and their graphs are plotted. Okay, the height by different times. The data for each class are plotted below. Which class made the most precise measurement? So on the vertical axis, you have the number of, number of, what is it? Number of trials. And here on the horizontal axis, you have the height. That means how many times have you measured the height? So one person might use a protractor, trigonometry, other person might use some other device, a tape, another person might probably use some parallax method, God knows. So different methods are used by different students and there are different trials and the height is measured. Out of them, one of them is the most accurate, most precise. Precise means what? That you are very close to the actual value. What do you think is the right answer? 2026 students won't be able to understand it so much, but you can still watch it. It's not an issue. By mistake, 2026 was put on the thumbnail instead of 2025. I'll get it corrected. See, if you look at this graph, or let's say even this graph, there are lot of deviations. The known height is supposed to be around close to 35, but you can see that one person is measuring the height as 10 meters. It's ridiculous. One person is measuring it as 20. Okay, so there are a lot of deviations from the known height. Here the known height is close to 35. One person is measuring 15, other person is measuring 50, 20, 40. Here also 50, 20, 15, 30. Lot of variations are there. Now, although the known height is 35 meters around. See, yes, there are maximum students who are measuring the height as 30 meters, but still you are very close enough to the known height and there are not many deviations over here. So you are very close plus not many deviations. So this must be the most precise measurement, which is option A. Isn't it? Very good, Aisha. No, Azad, D is not correct. Although lot of you might think, sir, the average value of this function will be close to the known height. That is why it is a JEE Advanced question. If you compare precision versus accuracy, what's the difference? See, if I tell you this is the target, and one person always shoots at this point, okay, and another person is there, he's shooting once here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, somewhere like this. See, this particular shooting, you are holding a gun or throwing arrows. This was the target. These are the markings. This is very, very precise. This is very, very precise. But it is not hitting on the target. That's okay. But the deviations are less. The deviations are less. This one, the orange one, is definitely not precise. It is definitely not precise. Now, look at this. Let's say one person is shooting and this is how it is. Okay, this is how he is shot. You can see the average value will coincide most likely on the bullseye or on the target. So this is then said to be accurate. This is then said to be accurate. Whereas this measurement is precise, but it is not accurate. It is not accurate. So there is a difference between accuracy and precision. Precision means even though you are doing wrong, you are doing the same thing again and again, very close to the same thing. Accuracy means you are doing on an average what is needed. Well, your deviations could be there, but on an average you are close to whatever is required. So average value is very good over here, very close to the known value. So this is an accurate measurement, but this is not precise as compared to this. Now do you get it, everyone? Everybody understood the difference between accuracy and precision? If the same question was asked instead of precision, it was asked for accuracy, then the answer D would be correct. Then D would be correct because the average value is coming close enough to 35 over here. Here the average value you can see will come close to 20, 25 like that. Here also the base is more on this side, so the average value will come over here somewhere. Okay, but on this graph it will come very close to 35 meters. Clear? Give me a thumbs up. Loved this question. It looks like an easy question, but trust me, it is not. Okay, conceptually it is very, very important to understand what is the difference between accuracy and precision. Okay, coming to the next question. The diagram shows an conveyor belt. You might have seen escalators, travelators, conveyor belt, pulley and belt system. So it is rotating. This belt is going like this. There is a block kept and it has to go up, I feel. Yes, it has to climb up at an angle of 37 degrees. The coefficient of friction is 1. That's very high. The least time in which the block can reach the top, starting from rest in the bottom. Let's draw the free body diagram. Let's draw the free body diagram. Yeah, this is for 2025 Rishikesh. By mistake, it was written as 2026. I'll get it corrected. Okay, observe this now carefully. See, my dear students, over here, the forces acting on this block, one is obviously the normal force. Then mg will have two components like this and like this. So this will be mg's cos theta component or cos 37 component. This would be mg sine 37 component. The block has to climb up. That means it must have some acceleration in this direction. So who will give that acceleration? Mg can't give it. So it will be the friction which will be dragging it. It will be pulling it up. So this is the friction which will be pulling it up. Now understand this, that if I write net force is mass into acceleration, net force is mass into acceleration. The force F will be positive because it is in the direction of acceleration. Mg sine 37 will be negative because it is opposing it. So minus mg sine 37 will be equal to mass into acceleration. But read the question carefully. It has to reach in the least time. So think about it. If the time has to be least, and if I have to go from here to here, using S is equal to ut plus half at square. Initial speed was 0. I think it is given. It started from rest. So initial speed is 0 plus half into acceleration into the time square. This displacement we know is basically 4 meters. You want this time to be minimum. So naturally this acceleration should be maximum. So because the product is constant, if time taken should be the least, the acceleration should be maximum. So if the acceleration has to be maximum, it is natural that the friction also has to be maximum in amount. The friction also has to be maximum in amount. And the maximum friction is mu into n. Mu into normal. Normal is mg cos theta. You can see that normal is balancing mg cos 37. So this is what A max will be. So I will get this as m into A max. M into A max. Obviously, this m and this m is cancelling. So start substituting the values. The value of mu is 1, g is nothing but 10, cos 37 is 4 by 5, minus g is again 10, sine 37 is 3 by 5, is nothing but A max. So from this, I will get the value of A max as 10 by 5 is 2 into 4 minus 10 by 5 is 2 again into 3. So 8 minus 6, which is basically 2 meters per second square. So substitute that over here. Therefore, 4 is equal to half into 2 into t square. So therefore, t square is 4. Therefore, t is basically 2 seconds. So the answer should be 2 seconds. That's perfectly all right. So the logic here was when I used kinematic equations because it was accelerating upwards and I saw the time was minimum. So it should have maximum acceleration to cover it quickly, shorter time. So for the acceleration to be maximum, the friction force should support it and should be maximum in that same direction. So maximum friction is mu into n. So this particular value over here that you see, this particular value that you see is nothing but the normal force. Mu into n is the maximum friction. Everyone understood? Shall we go ahead? Okay, great. Just 1 second. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's go to the next question on your screen. There is an ideal gas which is expanding such that Pt square is constant. The coefficient of volume expansion of the gas is how much? Crazy question. Pressure versus temperature relation is given and the volume coefficient is asked. Let's think how we can really go from here to here. When we talk about volume coefficient, there is a formula for that, and that goes something like this. The change in the volume is the initial volume into gamma into delta T. I can see volume and temperature here to find gamma. So this is pressure and temperature. Somehow convert pressure, temperature to volume, temperature. Is that right? I want to get rid of pressure now. How do I get rid of pressure? Let's think. Using this relationship, pressure is nothing but nRT divided by volume, and this is T square. So that is going to be constant. I've just taken the value of the pressure and substituted it using the ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation where PV is nRT. So P is nRT by volume. So looking at this, I can see T into T is nothing but, T into T square is nothing but T cube divided by volume is nothing but a constant divided by nr. Now this is another new constant. I can call it as k, and this will be nothing but T cube and this will be nothing but V. Now using the theory of errors, the relative error, you can clearly see this will be 3 into delta T by T is equal to K will never come. Volume's power is 1. So it will be 1 multiplied by delta V by V. I can start seeing a lot of similarities over here. Delta V and everything is there. So maybe I'll find delta V from here. So delta V will be nothing but it will be 3 times delta T by T, 3 times delta T by T multiplied by V. Substitute that over here. Substitute that over here. So it will be 3 times delta T into V divided by T is equal to V into gamma into delta T. A lot of things will get cancelled like delta T, V and V. The only thing left out now is gamma, and gamma will be nothing but 3 divided by temperature. That's it. That is the answer. So 3 divided by T is C option. C option for your Captain Stress. Perfectly correct. Yep. 3 by T. Very good, Vivid. Awesome. Yes, Azad. The conveyor belt can give a force to the block. Definitely. In fact, that force is only the friction. The conveyor belt is giving that force. How will it give the force? It will drag it. It is scratching it. It is pulling it via the roughness. That force is itself friction. It is not some extra force P or F or something. That is itself the friction. Got it? I hope this is absolutely clear, Aisha. All right. Perfecto. Let's go then to the next question coming up on your screen. And here it is. Wow, what is this? A smooth and vertical circular wire frame of radius 2 meter is partially inside water. A small bead of a small bead of specific gravity 0.5 is threaded on the wire and is kept at the origin of if the bead is imparted some velocity. It is here. It is imparted some velocity so that it moves along that wire frame and is able to complete the vertical circle, neglect friction, viscosity. So what is that speed which you impart? Now, if I ask you the same question, but let's say the water was not there, then the answer is very straightforward. The answer will be root 4 GL. This is like a pendulum with a rod, and the string will never become slack, the rod will never become slack, this will never lose contact. So the speed required at the bottom will be root 4 GL. Do you remember this formula? If it could become slack or lose contact at the topmost point, then the answer will be root 5 GL. So that is for a simple case. But here partially it is in water, so there might be some buoyant force in this journey which is changing the entire dynamics. So I feel we should divide the problem into two parts. One part from here till it reaches the surface of the liquid, and then from here to the top. And then maybe we will use energy conservation and then figure out how to solve the problem. Is that okay, everyone? So let's break it down. I think I have a separate diagram over here. Let me just keep it on 2 slides. Okay. So at this bottom point, this velocity is, let's say, V naught. Okay. And at this particular point over here, let's say the velocity is, let's say, V. And let's say at the topmost point, the velocity is, let's say, Vt. Okay. Now, for it to just complete the vertical circle, that is what is mentioned, for it to complete the vertical circle, because it will never become slack, this term velocity at the top can be approximately 0. Even if it is 0.00157 meters per second, still it will be able to go on to the other side, and it will definitely come back, again achieve the same speed, again lose speed, and again come back. It will be able to complete the vertical circle. So negligible speed. So from here to here, let me apply energy conservation. But before that, some few things that we can see, that this particular height is obviously 2 meters, which is the radius. Then if you talk about just this much height, how much is this much height going to be? Just check this out. Well, this is 1 meter. This is 2 meters. So this is obviously 1 meter, because this thing over here, this much thing over here is clearly given as 1 meter. So 1 meter and 1 meter is 2 meter, which is the radius. So all that you have to do is use energy conservation. Let's apply that energy conservation principle. So if I use energy conservation, then at this point, the energy is nothing but half mv square. As it goes on the top, it has very negligible kinetic energy, so 0, plus it has gained potential energy mg. The total height is 3 meters, so it will be 2 plus 1, which is going to be 3 meters. Anyways, m and m will cancel, g is 10. Okay, m got cancelled. Can you see that? Mass is there on both the sides. Okay, so mm got cancelled, and I am left with what? 10 is and this into 3. This is v square by 2. Therefore, v square will be 10 3s are 30. 30 into 2 60. So therefore, velocity will be nothing but root of 60 meters per second. That is over here, but that is not asked. This is asked. So again, I need to apply energy conservation equation. So again, applying the energy conservation equation here. So I can just say half m v naught square, half m v naught square is equal to, when it reaches here, it will have half m v square plus mg into the height difference, which is just going to be 1. Again, you can see that this mass gets cancelled, but there is a catch. You cannot do that. The reason being, there is buoyant force. So better not to do it like this. Let's do it via some another way. Buoyant force is also going to play a role. Rather, let me use work kinetic energy theorem. So work done by gravity plus work done by buoyant force is nothing but the change in the kinetic energy. So half mv square minus half m v naught square. This is work is equal to change in kinetic energy theorem. Out of that, I already know a couple of things. Like for example, half mv square, I know what is the value of v square. V square is nothing but 60 over here. So it is 60 over here. The only thing I do not know is v naught. So I'll just put half m v naught square as it is. And on the left hand side, I know what is the work done by gravity. Gravitational force is acting down, displacement is up. So work done is negative. So it will be negative work. Force is mg, displacement is 1. Buoyant force will do positive work, and I'll show you how. See guys, as you go from this point to this point, your buoyant force is always acting upwards. Your buoyant force is always acting upwards. This is your buoyant force. So the work done by buoyant force is the buoyant force itself into the displacement in the y direction. How much is that buoyant force? We can calculate that. The buoyant force value is volume which is submerged into density of that liquid multiplied by G. Okay. The volume submerged of that bead, volume, mass and density, I think they are all related. How are they related? Mass of the bead is nothing but, or mass by volume which is submerged is nothing but density of the bead. So therefore, volume submerged will be mass divided by density. So just put mass divided by density over here, and the rest of the things will be as it is. So this is density of the liquid multiplied by G. But wait a minute, I know the specific gravity of that solid. The specific gravity of that solid is already known. So if you think about it carefully, this ratio which is there, density of liquid upon density of solid, this density of solid has a specific gravity of 0.5. That means it is 0.5 heavier than the liquid. So this will be mg by 0.5, which is as good as saying 2 mg. So use this buoyant force over here. This will be 2 mg and displacement is exactly 1 meter. So this is just going to be 2 times of mg. Did you understand this? The gravity, specific gravity of the solid was given to be 0.5 right over here. Where is it? Somewhere it is given. Yes, the specific gravity of the bead is 0.5. So I have made use of that over here. Clear till this point? Yep, very good. Now use this over here. Use this over here. So this will just be nothing but 2 times of mg. That's it. This is just going to be 2 times of mg. Now you just have to find v naught square. But before doing that, one small thing we'll do. We'll cancel out mass from every single term. We'll cancel out mass from every single term. And then let's try to solve it. So this will be 2g minus g, which will be just g. This will be 60 by 2, which is just going to be 30. And this will be nothing but v naught square divided by 2. G is nothing but 10. So v naught square by 2 is 30 minus 10. Yep. So therefore, v naught square will be 2 multiplied by 30 minus 10 is nothing but 20. So this is nothing but 40. So v naught will be root of 40 meters per second. Root 40 meters per second. That should be the answer, or 2 root 10. Yes, that is one and the same thing. Root 40 is nothing but 2 root 10 meters per second. How many of you wrote the answer as 2 root 10? How many of you wrote the answer as 2 root 10? 5 root 2? No, guys. I think you guys made a mistake. Okay, be careful over there. Okay. Yep. Yes, 2 root 10 is the correct answer. Vivid, correct. Awesome. Yes, Azad, Aisha, I hope you got it now. All right. Very good, guys. Very good. Very good. Proud of all of you. Proud of all of you. Let's go then to the next question. Let's go to the next question then, coming up on your screen. Okay, so this was 2 root 10, 100%, not 5 root 2. Some people made some calculation mistake somewhere. Wow, beautiful question. There is a conducting uniform wire bent into the shape of a right angle triangle. This is right angle. This is a conducting wire making an angle 90 degrees. There is on a horizontal surface, so no effect of gravity. A very long, thin conducting rod. This is a long, thin conducting rod. It is in contact with the right angle at these 2 points. It is moving, or it is projected. It is thrown with a velocity of v naught. So think the angle is on horizontal plane. There is a rod kept like this, and that rod is thrown. So the rod will start sliding. I think friction is not there. Okay, it's smooth everywhere. The resistance is there though per unit length, which is lambda, and the entire arrangement is placed in a magnetic field, which is perpendicular. Find the distance traveled before it becomes stationary. First of all, why will it even stop? Let's think about it. When this rod moves, it is moving in a magnetic field. What will it create? It is a conducting rod moving in a magnetic field. Motional EMF. It will behave like a battery. So it will generate electricity. That electricity will generate current. Because of that current, what will happen? Think about it. There will be heat loss. Yes, there will be heat loss. Or you can think there will be magnetic force on the moving wire. ILB force. Yes, which will try to retard it. And because of that retardation, it will eventually lose the speed and it will stop. Or conversely, you can think because the current is flowing in that resistive wire, the heat will be developed and all that heat will be lost from the kinetic energy of that wire. So I hope you understand kinetic energy is eventually converting into heat loss in that resistance of that wire, and the force or the agent responsible for that is the magnetic force, which is trying to retard it. So the magnetic force is trying to retard the conducting wire. So maybe we can do something over here. Let's see. Maybe I'll need 2 slides. I'll just create a duplicate. If you just focus your attention maybe on the rod itself. Okay, and before looking at the rod, let me draw a perpendicular and let that be basically x distance, and this rod is having velocity v at any instant. This is some instant. So if you look at this right angle triangle, if this is x, this is isosceles right angle triangle, this is also x, this is also going to be x only, this much, even this is going to be x. If this is x, this will be x root of 2. This will be also x root of 2, right? Hypotenuse. Okay, just keep it aside. Okay, all these are the lengths that I have marked along with the velocity. Now this entire system is going to behave something like this. This one over here, this one over here, and then this is like this. But it will behave like a battery. This is very important. It will behave like a battery. Yes, it will behave like a battery over here. It will have some EMF. Because of that EMF, there will be definitely some current which will be flowing in the circuit. There will be some current which will be flowing in the circuit. Can we find that current? Definitely. That current will be EMF by the resistance. EMF by the resistance. And what is that EMF going to be? EMF is going to be magnetic field into the length of the conductor, which is nothing but x plus x into velocity divided by the resistance. Resistance is lambda multiplied by the length of the complete wire. Multiplied by length of the complete wire. Why lambda into that? Because it is clearly mentioned the resistance per unit length is nothing but lambda. So the total resistance will be the total length into lambda. Ohm per meter into the meters will give me the ohms of the entire coil. How much is the ohms? Let's figure it out. Well, you can clearly see over here the entire length of the wire which is involved over here will be x plus x plus x root 2 plus x root 2. So I can say it is 2 times, or rather 2x times 1 plus root 2. Just check this out. 2x times 1 plus root 2. X plus x is 2x. X root 2 plus x root 2 is 2x root 2. So 2x is common everywhere. 1 plus root 2 will be there in the brackets. So I can just put this as x plus x is 2x. So 2x into b into v, the whole thing divided by lambda multiplied by length of the wire, which is 2x multiplied by 1 plus root 2. Best part, this x and this 2 will just get cancelled. Just check this out. This x and this x, this 2 and this 2 just got cancelled. Okay, so I am left with b times of v divided by lambda into 1 plus root 2. That is your current which is flowing in the circuit. That is the current which is flowing in the circuit. But this is not the end. We have to find the distance that it travels before it stops. So now there is a force which will act on it, which will be ILB force. Yep, there will be a force which will be acting on it. That force will be like this. And we all know the force is current into length into B, and that will cause some acceleration, which is F by M. That is going to retard it. Retardation. So technically it will be negative. Even this force will also be negative. It will be opposite. You can think of it, or this is just, I would say, the magnitude of the acceleration. So the magnitude of the acceleration will be ILB divided by M. So the magnitude of the acceleration will be current into length into B, the whole thing divided by M. And what is that current? Current is nothing but B times of V divided by lambda into 1 plus root 2. Okay, so we'll do one thing. This is just the magnitude of the acceleration. The acceleration will be negative. So B into B is B square into L into V, the whole thing divided by lambda M 1 plus root 2. Before we progress, one thing over here, what is this length? What is this length? Think about it. This was B into V. What is this length going to be? This length is basically this entire length, which is actually nothing but 2 times of x. So basically into 2x will also come over here. Just check this out. If everybody is convinced till this point, everybody is convinced till this point. Acceleration, everyone, 2b square. Yep, Vx m lambda 1 plus root 2 over here. Everyone fine? This is negative because it is retardation. How do I from this figure out the distance traveled? Think logically now. Think, or rather I would say use some previous knowledge of kinematics, 1D motion which you have learned. There is velocity, there is distance, there is acceleration. I don't want acceleration. Acceleration is dv by dt. So maybe I'll just write this as dv by dt is equal to minus b square v 2x divided by lambda m 1 plus root 2. Oh, but I can't do this. So many variables, velocity, x and time. So use chain rule, dv by dx into dx by dt. That will be the most appropriate manipulation to do over here. So do it like this, dv by dt is fine, but put dx by dt over here and dx over here in the denominator. Now it makes sense. See what will happen in the next step. dv by dx, and this is nothing but v. So this is nothing but dv, and this is nothing but v, and this is nothing but minus b square v by m lambda 1 plus root 2, m lambda 1 plus root 2, 2x is there. If you want, okay, keep dx as of now here only, no issues. Let me keep it here. So I think every term has been taken. Yes, every term has been taken. Clearly, there is one thing which is getting cancelled, and that is velocity on both sides. So take dx on the other side. So dv will be negative b square 2 times by m lambda 1 plus root 2. Here you will have x into dx. Obviously, it's time to integrate now. When you integrate, be careful of the limits. When I started, my velocity was v naught. Eventually, I stopped. So that means it was 0, because eventually I come to rest. So stationary. So 0. Initially, I had not traveled anything. Finally, I ended up traveling some distance x or whatever you want to call it. I'll put it as x, say for example. So integrating this, I'll get 0 minus v naught is minus 2b square by m lambda 1 plus root 2. X's integration is x square by 2. So x square by 2 minus 0 square by 2 out here. 2 will obviously cancel, and even the negative sign will cancel. You can see that over here. So now I am left with just v naught is equal to b square x square divided by m lambda 1 plus root 2. Is that clear, everyone? Everyone? Yes. And what did we want? We wanted x, right? So what will be x square? X square will be v naught m times lambda 1 plus root 2, the whole thing divided by b square. So naturally, if you take the root on both sides, so x will be root of v naught m lambda 1 plus root 2, whole thing divided by just b. So that should be the answer. I think it is there on the next slide. Yes, m lambda v naught 1 plus root 2 divided by b, which is C option. Everything else has some 2 over here, 2 over here. Is there any difference between this and this? Oh, b is under the root. That is also wrong. So yes, this is the most appropriate answer. Let me delete this. Okay, not needed. Is this clear? So what we did in the initial part, we first figured out it is a motional EMF problem. We figured out the EMF. We also saw the resistance is changing as it moves, because X will keep changing. So we identified the resistance in terms of X by calculating the total length of the coil. Even this part, and this part, everything was having resistance. Then we figured out the current. Then we found out the force. Then we found out the acceleration. And once we get acceleration, we wrote it as dv by dt. But it was not of any use. So we use chain rule over here, dv by dx into dx by dt, which simplified the problem and it became in integrable form. And then rest of the things were straightforward. Okay, everyone? All right. All right. Shall we move ahead to the next question, my dear students? Let's go then. Let's go to the next question coming up on your screen. There is a massless spring. There is a massless spring of constant 100 in a vertical plane attached from point O. The other end is attached to a block of 2 kg and it is in equilibrium. Okay. Now another ball of same mass moving with some speed, root 10, hits the block and gets stuck to it. then the new amplitude of oscillation will be how much? This is beautiful question. Oh, I don't have an extra slide, no issues. I will just draw it over here. See guys, if you just consider the spring without any mass, it would be like this. But with that particular mass, it would have some extension. Yeah. And this extension obviously will be mg by k. This was at its natural length. This was the equilibrium which was present initially. This was the equilibrium which was present initially. Okay. Now what happens is there is another block of the same mass. It was moving with some velocity v0. So imagine now the situation just afterwards. The spring is still there only, it has not changed. Now it becomes one combined mass, and now that combined mass will obviously be 2m. Yep, that combined mass will be basically 2m, and together they will have a new velocity, I would say v. They will have a new velocity v. But for this total mass 2m, had it been in equilibrium, then that position would be something like this. It would be extended even more. It would be something like this. This would be that 2m mass. From the natural length, understand this. From the natural length, if you talk about it, this total extension would be 2 mg divided by k. So this is the new equilibrium position after the collision. This is the new equilibrium position after the collision. Now comes the interesting part. This system, compare it with this. This is the equilibrium position. This system has some velocity, so it already has some displacement. Can you guess how much is this mass displaced with respect to the equilibrium? Put it up in the chat box. This was natural. This was with mg, where the equilibrium will be. It will be mg by k. This mass comes and hits it, acquires some new speed. So this is not equilibrium, nor is this equilibrium. It will have a new equilibrium position for the new SHM. So this is completely new SHM. You can think of it. What will be the displacement from the equilibrium position, guys? Quickly put it up in the chat box. Yep. What is it going to be? Think. This is 2 mg by k. This is mg by k. So from 2 mg by k, remove this mg by k. What is remaining is just mg by k. So this much will be 2 mg by k minus mg by k, which is just going to be mg by k. What is this? This is the displacement of the simple harmonic motion from the equilibrium, or I would say the mean position. Is this absolutely clear? This is the displacement, that x which you use in SHM. F is minus kx or a is minus omega square x, all that thing. Correct. Very good, Azad. Awesome. Now comes the next part where we have to figure out what? The amplitude of the oscillation. So before we find the amplitude, let me find out this speed. Let's use conservation of momentum over here. So conserve the momentum. So initial momentum is equal to the final momentum. Initially, this block was at rest. Only this mass was moving. So plus m times v0. Finally, it became one single mass of 2m. As you can see over here, it became 2m multiplied by new velocity. Mm cancels. So v will be nothing but v0 by 2. where V naught, where is V naught? V naught, V naught, V naught is root 10. V naught is basically root 10. So it will be root 10 divided by 2 meters per second. So we found that speed. Now let's use the SHM equation. One very important equation which is there is V is equal to omega root a square minus x square. So V square will be omega square, or we'll square it later on, but this is the equation. This V is exactly this root 10 by 2. So just put root 10 by omega. Will think about it before going ahead. What is that A? That is something which I have to find. We have to find the new amplitude. So A is unknown. What is this X? X is basically this value, the displacement from the mean position. So that is nothing but mg divided by k, the whole square. What is omega? Omega, guys, is the time period of that oscillation. This will basically go up and down. This will basically go up and down. So it will definitely perform oscillations. So omega is root of k divided by 2m, angular frequency. So this is just root of k divided by 2m. Square both sides, this will become 10 divided by 4 is k divided by 2m. This will, root will also go. So this will become a square minus m square g square by k square. All right, is that fine? Now substitute the values. 10 by 4 is nothing but 5 by 2. K value is 100, m value is 2. So this is 100, this is 2, A is unknown, this is 2, G is 10, K is basically 100. So this 2 and this 2 goes, 5 and 100 also goes 20 times. These 2 and this 2 goes, so 2 is left. So A square minus 2 square is 4, 10 square is 100. This is 100 multiplied by 100. Okay, so 1 is equal to 20 by 2 is 10. This is a square minus 100 goes, 4 by 100 is 1 by 25. Okay, so this will become, 1 by 10 is equal to a square minus 1 by 25. So therefore a square will be 1 by 10 plus 1 by 25. LCM is 50. So this will become 5 times, this will become 2 times. So this will become 7 by 50. So therefore, A will become root of 7 by 50 meters. So A will become root of 7 by 50 meters. Where is it? It is not there, but I can do one thing. I can multiply by 2 inside. So 7 into 2 is 14, 50 into 2 is 100. Now root of 100 is basically 10. So root 14 by 10 meters. That is also fine. So root 14 by 10 meters is the answer. It's one and the same thing. Root 7 by 50 or root 14 whole thing divided by 10. Yeah, you just multiply and divide by the same number. Is that right? Sir, at the instant of hitting, they acquire a common velocity. Not at the instant of hitting, after hitting. So it hits and then this is the new velocity. So during that duration, momentum is conserved because the spring has not compressed much during that hitting. It is a very instantaneous process. So there is no displacement which is occurring in the spring. Is that okay? So whenever you see spring mass system and there is some collision occurring, you can conserve momentum and never ever change the extension during that collision because it is a very quick process. It is a very impulsive process, whereas spring takes some time to compress, decompress, expand, etc. Okay, fair enough, everyone. Very good, beautiful question, isn't it? Let's go, guys, to the next question on your screen. We have come to numeric type. Okay, so a person of 80 kg mass is standing on the rim of a platform and mass is also given 5 revolutions per minute. The person now starts moving towards the center. What will be the new RPM? Okay, so this was the platform before and this is the platform now. Okay, this is our axis, let's say. Okay, earlier this person was over here on the rim. Okay, somewhere here on the rim, and then he finally runs and comes close to the axis. That's what he has done. So earlier there was some angular speed. I will call it omega I. Finally, there is some angular speed, which is nothing but omega f. Obviously, angular momentum is conserved, so use that. Nothing more is there. So momentum, angular momentum is basically conserved in this entire process because whatever he is doing is an internal force, internal torque, no external torque is there. So the total angular momentum should definitely be conserved. Now, if you look at the initial situation, this guy can be assumed as a point mass. So AT multiplied by distance is r square plus the disk which is there, circular platform. You can assume it like a disk. Okay, this circular platform is like a disk whose moment of inertia is mr square by 2. Mass of the disk is 200. 200 r square by 2 is nothing but the moment of inertia. The whole thing multiplied by initial omega, that is angular momentum. I into omega is angular momentum. Finally, what happens? The person is at the origin or at the axis, so he will have no moment of inertia. M into 0 square is 0, so no moment of inertia. The disk will still continue to have 200 r square by 2 moment of inertia. This whole thing into omega final. Fair enough. So what happens over here on the left hand side? 80 and this is 100, so this will be 180 r square multiplied by initial velocity, angular is 5, is equal to, on the right hand side, this is just 100 r square multiplied by omega final. Couple of things like r square and r square, this 0 and this 0 gets cancelled, and I am left with 18 multiplied by 5 divided by 10 is omega final. So omega final, 18 5s are 90, 90 by 10 is just 9, so 9 rounds per minute, because I had used rounds per minute or revolutions per minute as the unit. So hence the answer should be 9 rpm. Perfectly correct. Okay, so 9 rpm is the right answer. Cool. Very good, Azad. Yes, perfecto. Maths class will start after physics and then you are going to have chemistry. Next one on your screen now. A straight conducting wire of length 4 meters is rotated in a magnetic field of 0.1 Tesla about this point O with some speed. The potential difference between M and N is how much? Now, very interesting question, guys. See, if you just have a simple rod and you rotate that rod, then the voltage difference between the points, between the ends, is given by half B omega L square. So use the same logic here, but 2 times. I'll tell you why. First consider this rod. Then the voltage difference, that is basically Vn minus Vo, will be half B omega distance L. What is that distance L? Think about it. If this is 0.8 and this entire thing is 4 meters and this is basically 0.8, it is, I don't know whether you are able to see it. So this will be obviously 3.2 meters. So half B omega L square. So here the length will be nothing but 3.2 square. Now same logic you use it for this rod, which is over here. Then Vm minus Vo will be half B omega, distance is 0.8 whole square. Now all you have to do is just subtract the two. Just subtract the two, you will get the answer. So it will be Vn minus Vm. Vo will get cancelled, will be half B omega. Here you will have 3.2 square minus 0.8 square. So this is exactly what we wanted. Voltage difference between N and M. Half is half. Magnetic field is how much? 0.1. So this is 0.1. Omega is how much? Omega is 10. Okay. And then you have 3.2 square minus 0.8 square. So just see how much will it come out to be, half, and this is 32 square and 0.8 square and all of that. Okay, so point, if you take it outside, that will be 0.1 square, which is basically 1 by 100. So this will be 32 square minus 8 square basically. If you want, you can simplify it by taking out 8 also common, but that's up to you how you want to do it, and see how much are you getting the answer as. How much are you getting the answer as? Come on. 4.8 says, who is it? Vivid Azad says 8 volts. Okay, come on guys, see what the answer is. Answer is 4.8. Just try it out. See if it is coming out as 4.8 volts. 4.8 volts. Just do the math properly. See whether you get it. Yep. Admit card video filling video needed. Is it? Okay, put up a comment. Then I will definitely have a look at it. 32 square, guys, just do 32 square, 900. So this will be 1024, I think, 1024, and this is 64. 1024 minus 64 divided by 2, that's it. So it will be 960 divided by 2, which is 480. 480 divided by 100 is 4.8. Yes, this is perfectly fine, nothing wrong in this. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next question on your screen. In an ideal double slit experiment, when you have a glass plate introduced in the path of the interfering beams, then the intensity of the position where the central maxima occurs previously remains unchanged. So the minimum thickness of the glass plate is how much? So see, what has happened is, this is your screen for example, and this was, let's say, this was your Young's double slit experiment. Earlier, the waves were able to interfere and produce a maxima over here. So you got a maxima over here. You got a maxima over here. Now what happened is, you have introduced a glass slab somewhere over here. So this pattern will shift, and because of that, you will see probably the maxima will go over here. The maxima will go over here, right? Somewhere like this. And the previous maxima will come on this guy. The previous maxima will now coincide on this guy. So exactly what has happened is, the fringe pattern will shift. The fringe pattern definitely has shifted by a fringe. By a fringe. By a fringe. The fringe pattern has basically shifted by a fringe because of this teeny mini glass slab over here. So usually what happens is, our path difference for any kind of interference is n lambda for a bright fringe. Now imagine that path difference has now come because of that glass plate, and whenever you put a glass plate, the path difference introduced because of that glass plate is the thickness multiplied by mu minus 1. Thickness multiplied by mu minus 1. So thickness is n times lambda divided by mu minus 1, but we want minimum thickness. So T minimum will be when n is minimum, lambda is lambda divided by mu minus 1. So lambda by mu is 1.5 only, yes, minus 1. So this will be lambda by 0.5. So this will be nothing but 2 lambda. So K value is us, so that will be obviously 2 times of lambda. As simple as that. So you are introducing a path difference because of the glass slab, and that path difference should be such that it will just increment it by 1 lambda only, because when you introduce exactly one wavelength of path difference, your shift will be exactly a fringe. So if it is shifted by a fringe, it also implies the path difference is just a single lambda, not 2 lambda. If it shifts by 2 fringes, the path difference will be 2 lambda. If it shifts by 3 fringes, the path difference, extra one, will be 3 lambda. That's how you look at it. Hence, the answer is 2. Everyone got it, my dear students? Fair enough? Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, very good. Let's go to the next question on your screen. What is this? 4 charges are there, fixed on the corners of a square planar soap film of side A. The surface tension of the film is some gamma. System is in equilibrium. They have combined surface tension chapter with electrostatics, vectors, and Newton's laws. Because free body diagram is there, vectors will be there, electrostatics is there, obviously surface tension. So 4 chapters are combined in this question. It's a beautiful question. Let's try to think, visualize how to solve this. Let me create a duplicate. Okay. So first of all, let me show that system. Okay. This is your square whose side is A. Okay. The side length is A as it is. Charges are given everywhere here at the corners. Each charge is basically Q, 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 and Q. And then there is a film which is created like this. It's dipped in a soapy film. That film will have surface tension and it will try to contract, it will try to minimize its surface area, and that will be opposed by the repulsive forces of all the 4 charges. The charges are equal, they will repel each other, so they will try to push themselves outwards and the film will try to pull it inwards. So there is a kind of an opposing force, and if they are perfectly balanced, then the system will remain in equilibrium. Are you able to now visualize the system? Isn't it amazing, guys? Okay, so let's try to do this question. How are we going to solve this question? Let's take any charge and figure out what is the force on it. Then we will think what to do next. We'll take any charge and see what is the force acting on that charge. So say for example, if you take this particular charge Q, it will experience force due to this guy, and that guy. So if you talk about the force due to this guy, it will be like this. Due to this guy, it will be like this. Due to that guy, it will be like this. And there will be a resultant force of all of these things, and that would be here. Okay, so how much are these forces individually first? Alright, what is this? Due to this guy, it will be nothing but K Q divided by A square. Due to this guy, it will be K Q divided by A square. Now for this, you need to be little careful. This distance obviously will be A root 2. So this force will be K Q divided by root 2 times of A square. These are the 3 forces acting on the charge. So in order to find the net electric force, so the net electric force on the charge, that will be, think about it, if you take this force and this force, their resultant will be here. That resultant will add with this force. These 2 forces by these 2 charges are perpendicular. They will create a resultant exactly at their angle bisector. Their resultant will add with this individual force due to this charge. That will create the net resultant. Are you able to comprehend this till this point? Okay. So if you ask me, what is the resultant of this guy and this guy, just the resultant of these 2 people, then my answer will be, take any one force, KQ by A square, and just multiply it with root 2. That's it. That's the resultant of these 2 forces which are mutually perpendicular to each other, isn't it? X and X, X root 2. F and F, F root 2. KQ square by A square, KQ by A square, KQ by A square into root 2. As simple as that, Pythagoras theorem. So the net force will be, first will be KQ root 2 divided by A square plus this force as it is, so KQ divided by root 2 A into square. Is this absolutely clear, my dear students, till this particular point? Everyone? Yep. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Till this point, everything is clear. Yes, sir. Perfecto. Awesome. Now, what to do next? Let's simplify this. Let's, I think, simplify this. Okay. Everything is as it is. Okay. So, how much will this be? This will be nothing but KQ divided by A square. This will be nothing but a root 2 plus 1 by 2. As simple as that. Root 2 plus 1 by 2. That is the force on that particular charge. If you want, you can substitute the value of K. No, it is not needed, I think. Let's keep it as it is. Now let's go to the next part of the problem. Consider exactly this much part of the system. Consider exactly this much part of the system. Observe this carefully. Only this much part. The half of the triangle. Excluding the charges Q and Q on the diagonal. Excluding. They are not considered. If you consider that system, it is in equilibrium. So that is my system basically. That system as a whole is experiencing this particular electric force here, electric force over here, which is just given by this value KQ divided by A square and root 2 plus 1 by 2, I believe. Root 2 plus 1 by 2. Okay. What will it be balanced by? It will be balanced by the force of surface tension. Yes, the force of surface tension, which is right over here, guys. This is that force of surface tension. So the surface tension force will be Fs, which is given by the surface tension, which is gamma, multiplied by the length, but into 2, because there are both the sides which you have to consider. Many people miss that number 2. Yes, that number 2, because the front side and the back side of that film. A film always has 2 sides right over here. Everyone, till this point, absolutely clear? Very good. So now, what do you do next? Just substitute the value of the length. What is the length? A and A. So the length will be nothing but A root 2, and this is into 2. But this force should be balanced. It should be balanced. It should be balanced. It should be balanced. So this one will be coming here, KQ by A square, and there will be root 2 plus 1 by 2 over here. And what is asked? What is A and this Q related by? A and this Q related by. I think, guys, one mistake we did everywhere, where everywhere Q into Q should have been there. This should have been Q square. I think I just calculated electric field, but that's okay. Q square should have been there. We can just add it now also. Not a big deal. We just figured out electric field, so just put square over here. Yeah, now it should be fine. Yep, now it should be fine. Yep, and the side length is asked. That means A is asked right over here. So you can bring that A cube over here and then solve the problem. So this will be KQ square. This will be root 2 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 2 root 2 into gamma into A raised to 3 into A raised to 3. So I think from this you can easily figure out the answer, because this is A cube. If you take cube root, then A's power will become 1, gamma's power will become 1 by 3. So I think that 3 will be the answer. This is perfectly fine now. So from this you can clearly see A cube is basically inversely proportional to gamma, or rather A is inversely proportional to 1 by gamma raised to 1 by 3, right? Gamma raised to 1 by 3. So hence that number 3 is the value of n. Everyone till this point absolutely clear? Very good. Awesomeness. Let's go, guys, to the next question on your screen. Here it is. What does it say? There are two rods. They are of length 1 and length 2. Isosceles triangle. Linear expansion. L1, L2s both are given. Find the ratio such that the latitude remains the same when the temperature changes by 10 degrees Celsius. What a beautiful question. Let's see. Okay, let's begin. How to solve this question? First of all, let's imagine two rods forming an isosceles triangle. Okay, so this is our isosceles triangle. Okay, what are the lengths? Rods of length L1 and one rod of L2. So this is L1, this is L1, and this over here, I will call it as L2. And the altitude also has to be shown because the altitude is not changing. So I'll just show the altitude. I will call that as H. This is perpendicular. I think we can focus our attention only on that small right angle triangle, and maybe I will use some derivatives calculus because it is not changing, and I'm seeing thermal expansion, and in thermal expansion delta L will come. So that is giving me some hint that I should proceed in the direction of derivatives. And when I'm thinking of derivatives, I'm also seeing H is not changing, latitude remains the same. So I will use this idea in the derivatives because derivative of a constant is 0. So I'm vaguely getting the feel that maybe I should take a right angle triangle over here. So using Pythagoras theorem, let's see what do we exactly get. So using Pythagoras theorem, observe carefully. The base will be only this much. This will be L2 divided by 2. So I can just say L2 divided by 2, the whole square, plus the altitude is nothing but H square will be nothing but the hypotenuse, which is nothing but L1. So that's square. Is that right? Everybody till this point absolutely clear? Perfect. Okay, so what do we do now? Take derivatives on both sides. Just simply take derivatives on both the sides. So we are just going to take derivative on both sides. Derivative on both the sides. Observe what happens. First of all, this is 1 by 2. So square of it will just become 1 by 4. So derivative, let's say with respect to time, of L2 square plus here you will have derivative of H square is equal to derivative of L1 square. We have to use chain rule, obviously, like so. So this will become dl1 square by dl1 into dl1 by dt. Is that right? So use chain rule over here. So use chain rule on both the sides because you can't directly differentiate L1 with respect to time. So this will become L1 square's derivative is 2L1 multiplied by dl1 by dt. Constant is H, so derivative will be obviously 0. And last one over here, 1 by 4 is as it is. L2 square's derivative will be 2 times of L2 into dl2 by dt. Okay, few things are getting cancelled now, like this dt and this dt, this 2 and this 2. So I believe we are left with now, yep, is that right? We are just left with L2 dl2, L2 dl2 by 4 is L1 dl1, is L1 dl1. What to do now? I know thermal expansion, how it works. change in length is original length into alpha into delta t. So let's use that. Maybe on the next slide I will do it. I don't have much space. So therefore L2 by 4, L2 by 4, dL2 is nothing but L2 into alpha into delta t, or I can just call it dt if you may. Is that right? I've used thermal expansion formula for change in length is original length into a thermal coefficient into temperature difference. Is that right? So this is nothing but L1 dL1, L1 dL1. What is dL1? It is L1 alpha 1 dt. L1 alpha 1 dt. Interesting thing is dt and dt cancels. So this is useless information. No matter how much you change the temperature by, this relationship will always hold true. So that 10 degrees had no meaning. Okay. And we have been asked L2 by L1. So L2 square by L1 square. 4 goes on the top. We have alpha 1 and we have alpha 2 over here. So what is alpha 1? Oh, alpha 1. Alpha 1. Alpha 1 is 4 into 10 to the power negative 6. What is alpha 2? It is of the base, which is 1 into 10 to the power negative 6. So it is basically 16. So that is L2 by L1, the whole square. So obviously L2 divided by L1 will be nothing but root of 16, which is 4 by 1. That is the answer, which is correct perfectly. Beautiful question where we had to use some bit of geometry like Pythagoras. We then had to also differentiate it. Then eventually we use the concept of thermal expansion. Okay, so we know this formula. Change in length is original length into alpha into delta t. This was thermal expansion. Thermal expansion formula. So 3 different concepts in this particular question. Moving on to the next one, we have come to the numeric type. This one homework, please try to do it. You can take a screenshot, then we'll go to the next slide. Is that okay? Is that right? Okay. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let's go then. Let's go. The answer will be there on the next slide. PDF, you can download it later on. Okay. Let's go to the next question. We have multiple correct question, multiple correct, beautiful question. Hydrogen gas absorbs radiation of wavelength lambda naught and consequently emits radiations of 6 different wavelengths, of which 3 are shorter than lambda naught. Interesting. Then final excited state, initial state, and how many transition belongs to Lyman series. Very interesting. Read the question again. Okay, fine, says Aisha. All right, Ajay, Vivid, perfect. So guys, ready for the day, ready for the day, Sunday. I hope you guys are not too nervous. I hope you guys are on to the final day of study. Tomorrow is a day where you should not study. Just maybe want to revise something, you can revise, but don't study tomorrow. That's why we are not keeping any academic class tomorrow. Yep. So let's have a look. How do we solve this? First of all, it's clearly mentioned that it emits how many radiations? 6 radiations. So just say, for example, these are the different levels. This is ground state. This is n is equal to 2. This is n is equal to 3. This is n is equal to 4. This is n is equal to 5. Like this. These are the different energy levels. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we'll need more. So just have drawn it. So the number of lines emitted is 6. There is a direct formula, in fact. There is a direct formula. The number of lines emitted is given by n into n minus 1 by 2, where n is that principal quantum number. N is that principal quantum number. Okay, n can be 1, 2, etc. It's the principal quantum number of that excited state. of that excited state. Since this is already given to be 6, so 6 is n into n minus 1 by 2, although you can make it into quadratic. Sorry, 6 2s are 12. So you can make it into a quadratic equation and then solve it to find the value of n. But it is very obvious what the value of n will be. Come on, guys, what is the value of n? 4 3s are 12, right? 4 into 3. This is 4, this is 3. So n is basically 4. N is basically 4. Everyone till this point? So the excited state, I think we got it. The final excited state of the atom is n is equal to 4. So this is definitely correct. The initial state of the atom, we do not know. So think about it. If the final state is 4, if the final state is 4 excited, so it will come down directly, or maybe it will go jump here, and then maybe from there it will jump to here maybe, and then maybe it will jump to here, or sometimes after jumping here it might directly jump to 1, or sometimes it might directly jump from 4 to 2 and then from 2 to 1. So I think these are the kind of lines that you will get in this particular scenario if it is in this excited state, if it is in this particular excited state, and you can count the number of lines, it is exactly 6. Okay, it is exactly 6. Now out of these lines, I think there are some belonging to Lyman series. Can you see which ones are them? This one, this transition, and this transition is to n is equal to 1 from here to here, here to here, and here to here. So all these transitions, 4 to 1, 2 to 1, and 3 to 1, what are these? These are basically Lyman series. These are basically Lyman series. So 4 to 1, 2 to 1, and 3 to 1, they are all Lyman series. So there are 3 Lyman series wavelengths. There are 3 transitions of Lyman series. This is also absolutely correct. Now we have to decide between B and C option. How do we decide that? For that, this information is given somewhere that 3 of the wavelengths are shorter than lambda naught. The gas is absorbing some wavelength, it gets excited, and when it emits, 3 of them are shorter than lambda naught. Visualize this. Say for example, that gas was in n is equal to 1 ground state. If it absorbs the wavelength and reaches here, if it absorbs lambda naught and reaches here, I feel all these wavelengths are bigger than lambda naught, because this is big energy, this is, except for this one, 4 to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these energies are smaller, so their wavelengths are larger. But we want 3 wavelengths which are shorter. Do not forget the concept that energy difference is hc by lambda. So if you want shorter wavelength, you want bigger energy differences. So 3 short wavelengths, so you want energies which are more than the excitation energy. So I don't think this is the case. So this is definitely not the situation. What if originally the hydrogen atom was in n is equal to 2 and then it jumped over here after absorbing that wavelength lambda naught? So think about it. If it jumps here, then which are those energies which are more than this energy? I think this one, even this one, and even this one. Don't count 4 to 2. 4 to 2 is exactly equal. Don't count it. Then you can see this, and this. Their energies are higher. Their energies are higher than 2 to 4. Observe this. Okay. So if you take the energy from 2 to 4, okay, this is less as compared to the energy between let's say 4 1, or energy between, I would say, 2 to 1, basically all the Lyman spectrum, and also 3 to 1, and also 3 to 1. If this is the scenario, the energies are more, that means their wavelengths are less. This corresponded to lambda naught. So therefore, lambda naught is lesser than this lambda from 4 to 1, this lambda from 2 to 1, this particular lambda from 3 to 1. So definitely, I will have to put exactly opposites. This will be more than this. So there are 3 wavelengths which are lesser than lambda naught. So this is what is given. This is what is given. They are shorter. There are 3 wavelengths shorter than lambda naught. That means originally, where is it? Originally, the atom was in n is equal to 2 state. So the initial state was n is equal to 2, not 3, nor 1, nor anything else. So that is definitely correct. So this logical deduction is very crucial. There is not much mathematics involved, but this deduction that why this energy is more or less, how it is affecting the wavelength, that is very, very crucial. Is this absolutely clear? Yep. Very nice. Perfecto. Let's move. Last few questions coming up on your screen. And here is the question. S1, S2, S3 are the different sizes of windows placed in a vertical plane. A particle is thrown up in that vertical plane. Find the correct options. The average speed, if the windows may be equal, average speed windows may be equal while crossing. If S1 equal to S2 equals to S3, S1 equals to S3 may be equal. If okay, fair enough. Let's try to do this question. So let's just imagine these windows over here. It would be like this. Here S1 equals S2 equals S3. Here S1 is smaller than S2 is smaller than S3. Here S1 is bigger than S2 is more than S3. What is happening is they are in a vertical plane and you are throwing a particle upwards. So let's say you take a particle and you throw it upwards here, here, and here. And then there are different options about average speed and the time taken or the change in velocity and all of that. Okay. Now tell me one thing. Let's look at the first 2 options. The first 2 options talk about average speed, right? They're talking the average speed will be equal if you have these distances or these distances. Tell me one thing. As you take this particle and it is going up, as it is going up, the speed will definitely keep on reducing. The speed will definitely keep on reducing. Whether you take this part, this part, this part, whether it is big, small, smallest, how does it matter? These average speeds can never ever be equal. No matter whether you take this or this, guys, it really doesn't matter. That's what I want you to understand. If I throw it like this, yes, the speed will definitely reduce. It will definitely keep on reducing as it goes up. Here, the average speed is higher. Here, the average speed is less. Same thing, average is going to be less. Here, on an average, the speeds are higher. So the speeds can never ever be equal. Whether you take a small height or a big height, it doesn't matter because it is continuously reducing the speed. So saying that the average speeds may be equal, the average speed may be equal in these situations is definitely wrong. It can never be equal. It can never ever be equal. A and B both are wrong, Azad. No, it is not correct. This is one common mistake many students do. They think, oh sir, if I take, what is it? If I take, sir, less distance, it will take less time. No, how does it matter? It's like you are going with full speed and then you are reducing the speed. Whether you count small distance or big distance, on an average, you are traveling at a high speed here. Here the speeds are less, here the speed is less. So it doesn't matter whether you choose a small distance or a big distance, your speeds only are less here. Your speeds are much higher over here. So they can never be equal for whether same distance or big distance. So A and B both are wrong. Everybody clear till this point? Okay. Now, if by chance the distances are equal, which is the third scenario which I have drawn, the change in the speed will satisfy this equation, and the time taken will satisfy this equation. Well, in the third case, think about it over here. If all the distances are equal, okay, this will have some change in the speed, it will have some change in velocity. The change in velocity is final velocity minus initial velocity, which will be nothing but acceleration multiplied by time. Acceleration multiplied by time using kinematic equation, using kinematic equations. But I do not know the time. That's okay. I can do one thing. S is nothing but ut plus half at square you can do, or displacement is, I can say, average speed multiplied by the time. Now it is obvious that this S is the same as given over here. So wherever the average speed is more, the time is less. So wherever the average speed is more, the time is less. And wherever the average speed is less, the time is going to be more. So obviously, here the average speed being higher, the time taken will be less. And here the time taken will be more because the average speeds are less. So T3 will be basically more. Why is this more? Because average speed is less. Here average speed is more. So T1 is less than T2, which is less than T3. T1 is less than T2, which is less than T3. This is perfectly correct. And then comes the next part. So wherever time is less, even change in velocity is going to be less. So same relationship will be followed. Change in velocity will be less here, change in velocity will be more here. So let's check that out. So delta V1 will be less than delta V2 will be less than delta V3. 1, 2, 3, same thing, 1, 2, 3. Everything is matching. So C and D option are correct. Did you understand this logic? Delta V is acceleration into time, A is constant. So if time is less, change in velocity is also naturally less. So C and D options are the only correct ones. Perfect. Nothing wrong over there. Shall we go ahead? Next question. Perfecto. Let's go, guys. Next question on your screen. Here it is. Consider a planet of radius r having the density lambda. A tunnel is dug inside at a distance r by 2. The object of mass m is left in the tunnel at the surface at t is equal to 0. Time taken to oscillate, magnitude of the speed, normal reaction, acceleration when it reaches the mid of the tunnel. Guys, this is a standard question. Let me tell you. One second. Yep. So, if you have a tunnel here, which is at the diameter, or if you have a tunnel anywhere, which is like a chord, so this is basically a diameter, and this is basically the chord of that sphere. The time period of oscillation up and down for the chord is the same as the time period of oscillation for the diameter, which is the same as, very important, the time period of revolution of a satellite near the surface whose value is 2 pi root r cube by gm. This is standard formula for satellite. So all these time periods are same. Whether you drop the ball here, or there is a satellite which is going near the surface, the time periods are the same. So this mass can be written down as density. I think density they have given as lambda. So it is lambda multiplied by 4 by 3 pi r cube. So it's density multiplied by volume. So you can use that to find the time period, and also you can figure out easily that when you are here, that will have maximum speed, and that will be A into omega. If you are wondering what omega is, omega will be nothing but 2 pi divided by the time period of oscillation. 2 pi divided by time period of oscillation. So you can use that to find maximum speed, and obviously at the mean position, so this is mean position, the acceleration will be zero. The acceleration will be zero. So very easily the acceleration when it reaches the midpoint will be zero. So 4 will go with P. 4 should go with P. Is there an option like that? 4 is going with P. Yes, 4 is going with P. So directly B option is the right answer. Don't even have to check others. But in case you had to check others, I have given you the theory for that, which you can do easily and start matching the things. Everyone clear? Very important concept and theory. Okay. So I think that was the last question. Yep. Now it's time for Ninja ma'am to be there. And after that, chemistry. Okay. All the best, my dear students. We will be there to motivate you tomorrow. Don't worry. And don't study tomorrow, please. Very rare for teachers to say that, but try not to study. Keep your mind cool. If you want, revise few things here and there, but don't do any kind of intensive revision. And if anybody is doing something on YouTube tomorrow, please don't do that. Watch that. Watch motivation classes or strategy classes. That's okay, but last minute tips, everything. But don't study. Okay, calm your mind. Bye bye. See you very soon. Okay, all the best. Now, Ninja ma'am will be here.
Hello, Ninja Warriors. Welcome to yet another power-packed session for your upcoming JEE Advanced, and you have already finished physics portion of it. Now we are going to start with mathematics, okay? So if I'm audible and visible, do let me know in the chat box. Yes? Okay, all right. Low voice you are saying. No, low voice. No. The voice is fine. Voice is low. How can the voice is low? Is it better? Is it better? Voice should be fine. I think I have my mic clipped right next to my mouth. So I think my voice should be fine. Can you please refresh? Can you please refresh? Some people are saying voice is fine. Some people are saying voice is not fine. All right. I think it's all right. No change. Let me do one thing. Let me check my voice. Let me check, huh? Because sometimes you people, I don't know why you say this, but when I hear, it feels that voices. But when I hear, feels that warriors, welcome to yet another power pack. I think voice is fine. Okay, so we can start it off. All right, everybody. Yes. So are we ready for the mathematics section, everybody? Yes. Are we ready for the mathematics section? Are we ready for the very first question? Okay. The very first question is a JEE Advanced PYQ. And let me reduce some brightness. Yes, I think the question will be more visible now. Okay. Yes. Perfect. So this is from binomial theorem. From binomial theorem, we have got a question, right? Let's understand this question. A and B be two non-zero real numbers, coefficient of x power 5 in the expansion of this is equal to coefficient of x power minus 5 in the expansion of this, then the value of 2b is. See, this is a JEE Advanced 2023 question, but you know what? This is a doable question. So the very first question I have kept so that you can do that warm-up thing. Okay, you get that confidence. Okay, all right, let's do this. Okay, coefficient of x power 5 in the expansion of this. So first of all, let's write the general term tr plus 1 for the first expression. So tr plus 1 will be what? NCR. So this is going to be 4CR, correct? AX square 4 minus R. And I think it's visible. I think it's visible, yes. AX square 4 minus R. Then 70 upon 27 BX raised to power R. Now you want coefficient of x raised to power 5. So power of x should be equals to 5. Yes or no? Power of x should be equals to 5 over here. What will be the power of x? So from here, 4 2s are 8 minus 2r minus r. So 8 minus 2r minus r is nothing but 5. Okay. So clearly, 3r is equals to 3. This implies r is equals to 1. So if r is equals to 1, then the coefficient will be what? Put r is equals to 1. I am only talking about the coefficient. 4c1 so is 4. Then a power cube. So a cube and 70 upon 27b. And can you see power r, which is 1? That's it. So this is your coefficient of x power 5. Okay. Now what we are going to do? Now same thing we are going to do for this expression. So again writing tr plus 1 for the second expression, which is going to give you 7cr ax power 7 minus r minus 1 upon bx square power r. Now power of x should be equals to what this time? Power of x is equals to minus 5. So from here, power of x will be 7 minus r, and this is minus 2r is equals to minus 5. So 3r is equals to 12. This implies r is equals to 4. So coefficient will be what? Tell me. Put r is equals to 4 and calculate the coefficient. So 7c4 a power cube and a minus, so this is minus power 4 is anyway positive, correct? So this is 1 upon b power 4. Now you need to equate these two. So if you equate these two, what will you get? See, this is 7c4, this is 4. So first of all, 4 a cube anyway cancel. So 74 into 70 upon 27b is equals to 7c4 a cube. I am not going to write, upon b power 4. Everybody getting it? Yes. Now understand that this b and this power 4 is going to get cancelled out. So now your b cube will be what? B cube will be 7c4 into 27 upon 4 into 70. This is your b cube. Okay. Now let's solve it out. So b cube is nothing but 7 into 6 into 5 upon 3 into 2 into 1 into 27 upon 4 into 70. Now start cancelling the terms. So 3 and 2 are gone with 6. 7 ones are 7, 7 tens are, then 5 ones are 5, 2s are. Okay, so b cube is actually coming out as 27 upon 8. B cube is 27 upon 8. So B is nothing but 3 by 2, everybody. B is nothing but 3 by 2. 2B is going to be 3. So 3 is absolutely correct. 2B is nothing but what? 3. 3 is the correct answer. Yes. To B is equals to 3. What do you think, everybody? What do you think? Easy question. Easy question, doable. If this type of question comes in JEE Advanced 2025, how many of you think that we'll be able to do it? See, because sometimes what happens is the question is not that difficult, but the pressure of JEE Advanced is not allowing you to actually do the question till the very end. Because every time you're going to doubt on yourself, am I doing correct? Is it a JEE Advanced question? Am I getting a JEE Advanced question right this easily? See, trust on yourself, believe on yourself, have some confidence. There will be easy questions. Just try identifying it, okay? All right. Now the next problem. Next problem over here. Yes? Okay. Again, it is from JEE Advanced 2023. Okay, so this is a function whose domain is 1 to infinity and codomain is R, is a differentiable function such that f of 1 is given as 3. And can you see this? This is an equation which is involving definite integration and fx. Okay, these kind of questions like JEE Main is also started asking. This is a very popular type of question where they will give you mix of fx, integration of fx. Okay, so now you need to figure out finding f of x. You need to find f of x. Okay, so how do we proceed? Especially this equation, use Leibniz theorem to differentiate, because there is an integration. No, integration is there, the upper limit is variable, so use Leibniz theorem to differentiate 3 f of x is equals to x fx. Now differentiate x f dash x, product rule, plus this time fx into 1 minus x cube by 3 is going to give you 3x square by 3. So just x square. Okay, so f dash x is actually dy by dx. F of x is nothing but y. Okay, so this question is actually becoming a question for differential equation, my dear student. This is a differential equation question. So this will give you 3 times y is equals to x dy by dx plus y minus x square. This is your differential equation. Now you need to recognize that what can we do with this differential equation, right? Let's recognize. So let's do one thing. Let's calculate dy by dx. Let's calculate dy by dx. So x dy by dx will stay on the left hand side. Can anybody tell me the form of this differential equation? Anybody can tell me? So x dy by dx. Now there will be plus is equals to 2y and we are having plus x square. It looks like actually, so if you divide by x, now dy by dx is nothing but minus 2 by x into y is equals to x. Can you see this? If you're still not able to see this, let me recall you. Dy by dx, let me help you. Remember this linear differential equation where p and q are function of x. So this is a linear differential equation. Let's calculate integrating factor, which is e power integral of p dx. So e power integral of what is p? Minus 2 by x dx. E power now minus 2 log of x. So x power minus 2, so 1 upon x square is your integrating factor. Everybody agree or not? 1 upon x square is your integrating factor. Now, start writing the solution of it. Let me use this space. Y multiply integrating factor is equals to integration of q. What is q? X. X multiply integrating factor, so x upon x square dx plus c. So y upon x square is equals to, now integration of 1 by x is log x plus c. This is your solution. Now as per the question, if you put x is equals to 1, y will be 1 by 3. So put x is equals to 1. Put x is equals to 1. Y will be 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 upon 1 is equals to, put x is equals to 1, 0 plus c. So from here this constant term will be 1 by 3. So now you have got your fx. Fx is becoming x square into log x plus x square by 3. This is your f of x. Now what they are asking, tell me, they are talking about f of e. So just put e now. So f of e will be equals to what? E square log e is 1 plus e square by 3. So e square plus e square by 3. E square plus e square by 3 is 4 e square by 3. 4 e square by 3. That means option C is absolutely correct. Yes, Azad, option C. What do you think? Easy question, doable question or not? Doable question? Have a look. Okay, next question on your screen. Next question loading. Next question loading. This is from JEE Advanced 2021. From JEE Advanced 2021. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let U, V and W be the vectors in three-dimensional space, where u and v are unit vectors which are not perpendicular to each other. So u dot w is 1, v dot w is 1 and w dot w is 4. Understand this? U, v are unit vectors which are not perpendicular to each other. That means u dot v is never 0. That is the first thing they are telling. Volume of parallelepiped. If the volume of parallelepiped whose adjacent sides are represented by u, v and w is root 2. So can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me what is the volume of parallelepiped? Volume of parallelepiped. Volume of parallelepiped is nothing but box of u, v, w or scalar triple product of u, v, w. But there will be a mod which is given as root 2. Correct? Now if I square both the sides, what will I get? U, v and w. Box whole square is equals to 2. Okay? U, v, w box whole square is nothing but 2. Getting it, everybody? Now, do you know the scalar triple product property which involves determinant? If not, let me tell you. U, v, w box whole square is equals to u dot u, u dot v, u dot w. V dot u, v dot v, v dot w. Then w dot u, w dot v and w dot w. Everybody? Yes, this is it. Okay, now I'm going to do the next thing is over here. So put the values. U, v, w box whole square is nothing but 2. So 2 is equals to, now u dot u. U is a unit vector. So u square is 1. So let me mark it as 1. Now u dot v is not given to you. In fact, u dot v is what you're looking for. So u dot v, let's keep it as it is. Then we have u dot w. U dot w is also 1. Now v dot u, again v dot u and u dot v are same. So let me write it this way. Then v dot v is again one unit vector and v dot w is given as 1 as per the question. Then w dot u is also 1. Then w dot v is also 1. And w dot w is w square. Okay, w square I don't know. Okay, actually w square is given as 4 as per this question. So can you see the only quantity which is left out in this is u dot v. If you open this determinant, you will get the value of u dot v. And you can utilize that u dot v in calculation of 3u plus 5v. So this property is very important. This is very important property for your JEE Advanced. Okay. Make sure that you remember u, v, w box whole square is nothing but this. Okay. Now, let's open it. So this is 1, 4 minus 1, so 3. Okay, so 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. Minus u dot v, let us keep it outside. And 4u dot v minus 1. Okay, plus 1 and this is u dot v minus 1. So can I just use u dot v as t? That's it. So u dot v I am putting it as t. So this is equals to 2. So 3 minus t, actually 3 minus 4t square and plus t, okay, plus 1 more t minus 1 is equals to 2. So 3 minus 1, can you see, is 2. So this is 4t square minus 2t. So from here t is equals to 0, which is not allowed, comma t is equals to what? 1 by 2. So u dot v is coming out as half. Now you need 3u plus 5v. So mod 3u plus 5v square is actually equal to, or you can say that is equals to square root of. Now square it. 3u plus 5v square it. So 9u square is 9 and 5v square is 25. 5 3s are 15 plus 30 u dot v. U dot v is half. So this is square root of 9 plus 25 plus 15. So this is 49. So this is just 7. 7 is absolutely correct as per this question. Yes? Everybody? 7? Royal Gaming. JEE Main 2026 droppers. I feel that you should join a proper structured batch rather than focusing on YouTube because you're a dropper now. Okay, you don't have time for experiment. But yes, ROAR series, if I talk about, it's very good. And in fact, there will be a free YouTube series which is going to come in a couple of days. That is going to be a more detailed series than ROAR series. Okay. So yes. Let's do one question, one more question let's do. Okay, and this question is actually a proper coordinate geometry question. Let me increase the brightness so that you can see. See, this is a JEE Advanced 2020 question. Okay, JEE Advanced 2020 question. Now these type of questions, see, understand. There will be conic section, coordinate geometry questions and probability questions as well, wherein you have to give enough time to read that question nicely. Otherwise, you won't be able to do that question. Okay. All right. Let O be the center of this circle. And in this plotting the diagram will play very, very important role. How well are you plotting the diagram, okay? So let O be the center of this circle, x square plus y square is equals to c square. So let me draw a circle over here. Let me draw it nicely. I have tools, you guys don't have tools. So let me use those tools. This is a circle. Then there is another circle. Another circle, okay. So there will be another circle. Now I think I can create whatever I want. O be the center of this circle, x square plus y square is equals to r square. So let me mark this as O. And the radius of the circle is r, okay, where r is greater than root 5 by 2. So we will come back to this a little later. Why? Because see, r is greater than root 5 by 2, it is given to us, but we are not able to conclude anything. So this information they have given, maybe later on they are giving something. Suppose PQ is a chord of this circle and the equation of line passing through P and Q. So PQ is this chord. So let me draw this chord, which is P and Q. Okay, P and Q. Equation of the, now is a chord of the circle and the equation of line passing through P and Q is this. So equation of line is given to you, which is 2x plus 4y is equals to 5. If the center of the circumcircle of the triangle OPQ, okay, hold on. So I have made a mistake over here. This circle, okay. Now if the center of this circle is O, they are saying that there is a chord which is PQ, and now the next circle will pass through. So next circle, can you see? If the center of the circumcircle of a triangle OPQ, so OPQ, I need a circle which is passing through OP and Q. So let's do that, okay. Let's try doing that. So there will be a little smaller version. Yeah, I think it's good. What do you think? Yes? This is the circle which is passing through OPQ, triangle. So this circle is actually circumcircle to this triangle. Let me change the color, okay. So OPQ is a triangle. I hope everybody is seeing this triangle OPQ. And a circle circumscribing this triangle OPQ is your second circle. So if the center of this circumcircle lies on x plus 2y is equals to 4. Now center of this circle, so center, let us mark it as C. Okay, I don't know where exactly the C will lie, but I'm just giving a reference. And a line passing through. Now can you see this line and this line? These two lines are actually parallel lines, right? This is x plus 2x, so this is x plus 2y is equals to 5 by 2. And this is x plus 2y is equals to 4. These are the two parallel lines. How many of you are able to see the parallel lines? Okay, two parallel lines. I hope the diagram is clear. Then the value of r is what they are looking for. Correct? So r value is actually nothing but, value of r is nothing but OQ. So we are looking for OQ only. We are looking for OQ. Okay. So let me draw a perpendicular over here. So if you draw a perpendicular, let us mark this as A. So now OQ you need to calculate. OQ. So OQ square is nothing but OA square plus AQ square. OA square plus AQ square. Everybody agree? Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem. OQ square in this triangle I am looking for. OQ square is OA square plus AQ square. Now OA. O is nothing but 0, 0 and this is the line. So OA you can actually calculate. Can anybody tell me how can I calculate OA? Can I calculate OA, my dear students? So yes, we can calculate OA because we know this point 0, 0, we know this line. So perpendicular distance from this point to this line, we know the formula 0, 0. So this is 5 by 2 upon square root of 1 square plus 2 square. So 1 square plus 2 square is this. So now if you solve this, 5 upon 2 root 5, or you can call it as root 5 by 2. So root 5 by 2, can you see? Root 5 by 2 is nothing but length of perpendicular from the center to the chord. Obviously, if this is root 5 by 2, then the radius r will always be, this radius r will always be greater than OA. That's what they are giving. So we already know this information. Okay. So this is r square. OA square, so you have 5 by 4. And now AQ square. Now how to calculate AQ square? How to calculate AQ square? Now AQ is actually, if you notice one thing, this is AQ. Can I make any more let me change the color. So this is your CQ and sorry, this is your CQ. Q is this point, no, not this. So this is your CQ and this is your CA. CQ and CA. So yes, actually if you notice in this triangle, in this pink triangle, if I apply AQ square is actually nothing but what? CQ square minus CA square. CQ square minus CA square. So CQ square minus CA square. Everybody. Now CQ, how will you get CQ? CQ, how can you get CQ? So CQ, you can get the CQ. CQ. Okay, how to get CQ? CQ is nothing but, okay, I think, oh, CQ is actually equal to OC. CQ is actually equal to OC. How come? This is your OC. OC is distance between, and what about CQ? CQ is radius, okay. So yes. Can you look at the figure? Can I just write OC? OC is nothing but distance between C, center of the yellow circle, and O is lying on the circumference. So OC is nothing but radius. How many of you agree? Radius 2. Radius of the second circle. This OC is radius of second circle. What about CQ? CQ is also radius of second circle. Why? Because C is the center and this Q is lying on the circumference. So OC and CQ are equal. So CQ, I can calculate CQ, radius of this. So OC, O is the point and C is lying on this line. So now OC, same way. See, you have calculated OA. Now OC also you can calculate now. So how will you calculate? So 4 upon root 5 is your OC. Distance between 0, 0 and this x plus 2y is equals to 4. So now you have 16 by 5 minus CA. Now how to calculate CA? CA is this distance. Now understand. CA. To calculate CA, we have OC and we have OA. So OC and OA. So OC minus OA. Everybody, CA is this. This is nothing but OC minus OA. You will get this. Now what is OC? You have just calculated 4 by root 5 minus OA you have calculated root 5 by 2. So if you solve it, root 5, 2, 4 2s are 8 minus 5. So this is 3 by 2 root 5. 3 by 2 root 5. This is your CA. Now plug in the value. So 9 by 4 5s are 20. 9 by 20. Everybody 9 by 20. So this is 64 minus 9. is 55 by 20. So this is 11 by 10. This is your AQ square. AQ square is 11 by 10. Okay. AQ square is 11 by 10. So R square now is 5 by 4 plus AQ square is 11 by 10. So if you solve it, what you're going to get is 20. So 25 plus this is 22. So this is 47 by 20. R square is what? Hold on. 16 by 5 minus 9 by 20. Have I done this correctly? So 20 will be the thing, and this is 16 into 4 is 64 minus 9. 64 minus 9 is 55. 55 by 20. So this is your 10. Oops, no. 55 by 20 is something else, na? 55 by 20. 55 by 20. 5 4s are 5, 11. 11 by 4. Sorry, this is 11 by 4. Yes. 11 by 4. I think now the question has become very, very easy. This is R is nothing but 16 by 4. So R square is nothing but 4. So R is going to be 2. So 2 is the correct answer of this question. Have a look. Let me know. Are you guys having doubts? Okay. So let me just give you a brief overview with the help of diagram. Okay, I'm going to make a diagram one more time. See what is happening over here is there is this one circle and you have a line PQ going on and there is the center O. Now there is another circle. There is another circle, my dear students, which is passing through this. This is the setting. Okay. Yes, this is the circle. See, what did we do? First of all, this is passing through, so this is your A. And center of circle lies over here. So these two lines are parallel. Let me form a parallel line. You need radius, you need OQ, R. Okay. So now in this triangle, what we are doing is we are taking two triangles. Understand this nicely. Okay. So we have got these two triangles. In the very first triangle, you have to calculate radius, and OA you can calculate because you have this equation of line. So you have OA. But what about AQ? You don't have AQ. Now AQ will come from this triangle. See, if you have OA and AQ, then only you will be able to calculate this radius. Yes or no? So OA too you have, but AQ you don't have. So how to calculate AQ? Now come back to the second triangle. So AQ you don't have. Now think about it. Do you have CQ? CQ is nothing but R2, radius of this. No, you don't have CQ, but you know what? This is the center of the circle. CQ is actually matching with CO. This is CO, which is also R2. This is also R2. So do you have this? Yes. Why? How come? Because again, you know the point O, you know this line. So can you calculate distance between a point and a line? Yes. So if you have OC, you have R2. Okay. Now do you have CA? So how to calculate CA? Now understand. You have complete OC. You have complete OA. If you subtract OC minus OA, you will get AC. So AC also you will have. This is your AC. AC also you will have. R2 you will have. So now applying Pythagoras theorem will give you AQ, and once you have AQ, then this triangle is complete. You can calculate your radius. Everybody getting it? Just to Pythagoras theorem we have applied, nothing else. Just to Pythagoras theorem. Okay. Now what do you think? Understood? I think so many of you are not able to understand this question. Kya? Shall we move on to the next problem? At 3D say we have just done one question from vector and 3D geometry. Yes. So next question on your screen is this, again from coordinate geometry. Again from coordinate geometry. Ready? Ready, steady, go. Kya? Read the question nicely. Chalo, I'm going to give you like 90 seconds for this question. Let's read this and I'm going to give you 90 seconds so that what you can do to this question. Line y is equals to mx plus 1 intersect this circle. Circle is completely given to you at the points P and Q. So basically this line is a chord to this circle. That's what they are saying. If the midpoint of line segment PQ has x coordinate minus 3 by 5, then which of the following is correct? Okay, so let's do one thing. We have a circle, we have a line. Midpoint, so PQ, let me mark PQ, P and Q. Midpoint is written over here, which is minus 3 by 5, comma, now see, PQ's equation is right there. Can I calculate y coordinate using this? Definitely, because we know the x coordinate. So y is equals to 1 minus 3 by 5m. Can I write it this way? Just put x is equals to 3 by 5, get the value of y. So 1 minus 3 by 5m. This is your middle point. Okay. Okay. And which of the following options is correct? Center. Can I just mark the center of this circle? 3 comma minus 2. And this is the radius. The radius is nothing but 5. And this is the perpendicular. We know that, see, slope of PQ, can anybody tell me? Slope of PQ. Ma'am, slope of PQ is going to give you M. What about slope of OX? Slope of perpendicular line. Slope of this line. So slope is nothing but, now you've got this point, middle point and this point. So start calculating. y2 minus y1 minus 3 by 5m plus 2. y2 minus y1 upon minus 3 by 5 minus 3. Let's solve. So this is 3 minus 3 by 5m upon, this is 15, 16, 17, 18 by 5 negative. So now if you have to cancel the terms, 3 ones are 3, 3 6 are 18, 5 will go up. So this is going to give you 5 minus m upon minus 6 or m minus 5 upon 6. This is the slope. Now m into m minus 5 by 6. If you take product, you will get minus 1. m1, m2 is equals to minus 1. Let's apply that. Okay. So m into m minus 5 by 6 is nothing but minus 1. So this will give you m square minus 5m is equals to minus 6. So m square minus 5m plus 6 is equals to 0. So m is equals to 2 comma 3. Everybody, m is equals to 2 comma 3. Very easy. Now m is equals to 2 comma 3 will give option A wrong. 2 comma 3, I think option B is correct. C and D both are wrong. JEE Advanced 2019. What do you think, my dear students? Good question. Good question. Next question. From quadratic equation. From quadratic equation. Okay. If A comma B and C are the distinct real numbers such that the quadratic expression Q1 and Q2 and Q3 are always non-negative. What is non-negative? Non-negative means either they are greater than 0 or equals to 0. Okay, so non-negative. See, understand. So Q1 is always non-negative. That means AX square plus BX plus C either strictly greater than 0 or just equal to 0. Okay, either strictly. So see, When your quadratic expression is always greater than 0, so greater than 0, ax square plus bx plus c, strictly greater than 0. This means that leading coefficient should be positive and discriminant should be negative. But ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. What does that mean? That it will, c is equal to 0. So it will never go negative. This expression will never go negative. It will either touch the x-axis or it will remain above the x-axis. So it will touch the x-axis. So for that again, a greater than 0, upward facing parabola. Either this graph or this graph. So this graph is having this condition. This is d equals to 0. So if you combine these two conditions, you will realize that this two things, what they are saying, that simply is allowing me to write leading coefficient positive and discriminant less than or equals to 0. Discriminant is what? B square minus 4AC is less than or equals to 0. Now understand one by one. See, for Q2 also we have to write the same thing. So for Q2, see, first thing is A greater than 0 and B square is less than or equals to 4AC. Second quadratic equation again. So this is B greater than 0 and C square is less than or equals to 4AB. And third, C greater than 0 and A square is less than or equals to 4BC. Yes or no? Everybody getting it? So if I add first equation, second equation and third equation, just try to add first, second and third. So A square plus B square plus C square less than or equals to, what are you going to get? A square plus B square plus C square less than or equals to 4AB plus BC plus CA, and A, B, C all are greater than 0. So AB plus BC plus CA will always be positive. This quantity will always be positive. So positive thing in inequality I can shift. So A square plus B square plus C square whole upon AB plus BC plus CA. That's what they are asking now. If you just see, what is this expression? A square plus B square plus C square upon AB plus BC plus CA. They are asking about range of this expression. So range will be less than or equal to 4. Can you see range of this expression will be less than or equal to 4? Okay. Less than or equals to 4. That is the first thing. Second thing is something which we already know. Now, this is a very good question. There are chances of getting an error even if you solve the problem end to end. JEE Advanced asks these type of questions where if you are leaving or skipping some concept, then you might end up in incorrect answer. Now listen to me carefully. So this is A minus B whole square plus B minus C whole square plus C minus A whole square. Remember this? This will always be greater than or equals to 0 or not? Yes. So now if you open it, A square, so 2 times. A square you are going to get 2 times. B square be 2 times, C square be 2 times, minus 2AB, minus 2BC and CA. 2 I can cancel it out. So A square plus B square plus C square is greater than or equals to AB plus BC plus CA. So A square plus B square plus C square upon AB plus BC plus CA is greater than or equals to 1. Okay. So that means this expression is greater than or equals to 1 and less than or equals to 4. So just tell me what is the correct answer of this question. As per the question, number of possible integers in the range of expression, that means y can be what all integers? So y can be 4. Equal to 4 is there because y can be 3, y can be 2 and y can be 1 as well. Tell me, can y be 1? Now understand this. This is something which is very, very important. See, you have applied an equal to sign. This equality, just tell me when exactly this expression is going to become 0. This whole expression you want it to be 0, right? See, equal to 1 means this equality should hold. This equality should hold, that means this expression should be equal to 0. And eventually this expression should be equal to 0. So I am just trying to understand when exactly my this expression is becoming 0. Can you think about it? When exactly my this expression is equal to 0? When all three are 0 at the same time. So this expression becomes 0 when A is equals to B is equals to C, which is not possible in this question because A, B, C are distinct real number. So this is not possible. If this is not possible, that means equal to 0 we have to remove. We have to remove equality. We have to remove equality. Just strictly greater than 1. Y cannot be equals to 1, right? So Y can only have 3 integers. So the correct answer of this question is nothing but 3. So 3 is the right answer. Everybody getting it? Good question. What do you think? Now one question from permutation and combination. Are we up for it? Are we ready for it? Yes. Okay. Yes, Yamini. Okay. Let us read this question carefully. Okay. Consider a 7-digit number x1, x2, x3 and all the way up to x7. Okay. Where x1, x2 and all the way up to x7, that is no digit is 0. 7-digit number is there, but thankfully there is no digit which is 0 because 0 causes a lot of issues. We know that. Okay. When we have 0, it should not come in first place. So we have to take cases. But in this question, good news is we don't have to take cases. Now, that 7-digit number is having the property that x4. Now understand, x1, x2, x3. Then we have a middle number x4, then x5, x6, x7. So x4 will be the greatest digit and all digit towards the left and right of x4 are in decreasing order. Are in decreasing order. Okay. That means, see, decreasing order means so decreasing order. See, suppose we have 5 in the middle. Now suppose we have 2, 3 and 4. So 2, 3 and 4 in decreasing order will look like this. So 2, 3 and they will follow a particular order. So decreasing order left to right or right to left, towards the left and right. Okay. So 4, 3, 2. Can you see this is decreasing? And on the right hand side also this decreasing order, the particular order will get followed. So that is going to give you 6, 7, 8 suppose. So 6, 7, 8. So this is the increasing, na? 8, 7, 6. So this is again decreasing order. Can you see? So this is how your number will look like. They will follow a particular order. They will not shuffle among themselves. So now we have how many digits? Except 0, we have 9 digits. So very first step is select 7 digits. Select 7 digits out of 9 digits. Yes? Select 7 digits out of 9 digits. Now you've got 7 digits. Automatically the highest will go in x4 place. So you don't have to do anything about it. So highest will automatically be placed over here. Now 7 digits are there. One highest is gone. Now you are 6 digits. You are having 6 digits. And those 6 digits, you have to divide those 6 digits. Now what to do? See, now this is something which is important. How to arrange 6 digits. So understand that there are two clear-cut left section and right section. 3 digits will go on the left, 3 on the right. So out of 6 digits, now we need to do the grouping. Okay, grouping. So grouping will come into the picture. Grouping of 6 digit in a bundle of 2. So that one group will have 3 digits, one group will have 3 digits. Okay, so this is 6 factorial upon 3 factorial, 3 factorial, 2 factorial because there are equal groups. Okay, so this is grouping. Now doing this, you have 6 digits, but 6 digits are divided into 3 and 3. This is how you can divide. Now those 3, you are sitting here, and now one bundle can go towards left, one can go towards right, and vice versa. So third is distribution. So you need to distribute. You need to distribute these two bundles among left and right. So distribution is also done. Grouping plus distribution is done. Okay, so this is a thing. So now this is your final answer. So 9 into, now calculate, multiply 9 into 8 upon 2 into 6 into 5 into 4 upon 3 into 2 into 2 into 2. So just calculate and let me know. 3 and 2 are gone. Then 2 and 2 are also gone. Correct? This 2 and this 2 is also gone. So 9 into 8, 72. Am I missing out anything? 9C2 and 6C3, yes. So 9 into 8 upon 2 into 1, this is correct. Then 6, 5, 4, 3 factorial is gone already. Then you have 3 factorial, then you have 2 factorial, 2 to cancel. So see, you have 3 and 2 gone with 6. Then 2 and 2 gone with 4. So this 2 is still remaining, na? So yes, 9 is a 72 into 10. So 720 is the correct answer. Now sum of digits of A. The total number of such numbers in which all digits are distinct is A. Then find out sum of digits of A. So A is nothing but 720. Sum of digits of 720 is nothing but 9. 9 is the final answer. 9 is the final answer. Yes, getting it? Understanding it? Okay. Shall we move on to the next problem? Yes, everybody? Okay. All right. This is the problem. And this is from the area under curve. Yes, Azad, absolutely right. Area under curve. Area bounded by mod y is equals to sine inverse mod x. First of all, let's just plot y is equals to sine inverse x in just first quadrant. So first quadrant. See, this is your sine x. So this will be your sine inverse x. This will be your sine inverse x. Yes, this is your sine x, right? See, this is your sine x. So this will be your sine inverse x. And see, this is your pi by 2. And this is your 0. And this is your 1. So I am only plotting sine inverse x graph in first quadrant. Why? Because see, even if you put negative x, it will become positive only. So whatever is the graph in the positive x-axis, that we will get in the all 4 quadrant. So the graph of mod y, and y is also positive, so only first quadrant. Now just replicate the same graph in all 4 quadrants. So this is your graph of mod y is equals to sine inverse mod x. Everybody clear? Now at x is equals to 1. So x is equals to 1 is this line, everybody? This is x equals to 1 line. Okay. And the area, if area bounded by this and x equals to 1 is a pi plus b, then find the value of a minus b. Okay, so let's understand that which exactly, like which area we are looking for. So obviously this curve and this line, this is this curve, see, this curve and this line is having an area over here, only this area, not this area, but this area. So now it is going to, this is symmetric also. So I just calculate the area which is lying in first quadrant, so which is 0 to 1 sine inverse x, and make double of it. This is your final area. Area is given as a pi plus b, so this is a pi plus b. Okay, so sine inverse x, integration of sine inverse x. So Eilert rule. Okay, this is 1 dot, this is first function, this is second function. So a is equals to 2. First function constant, integration of second minus integration of derivative of first function. Okay, sorry. Integration of derivative of first function and integration of this is dx. Okay. And this limit will be 0 to 1. Let's put this limit. So area is equals to 2. If you put 1 and sine inverse 1, so you're going to get pi by 2. If you put 0, it will be gone. Minus. Now what you need to do is, you need to put 1 minus x square as t. So minus 2x dx will become dt. Correct? So minus x. So this is dt by 2 and root t with plus sign, and the upper and lower limit will also get changed. When your x is 0, your t is 1. When your x is 1, your t will become 0. Okay. So t power minus half integration. So t power minus half integration will be what? So this is nothing but so a is equals to 2 pi by 2 plus, this is 1 by 2, t power minus half plus 1 is 1 by 2, and this is 1 by 2. And now this is 1 and this is 0. So area will be what? 2 pi by 2. Now put the values. If you put 0, you will get 0. If you put 1, so pi by 2 minus 1. So this is pi minus 2 is the area. Pi minus 2. Pi minus 2, if you match with this, you will realize a is equals to 1 if you compare, and ab is equals to minus 2. So b is equals to minus 2, correct? So a is equals to 1, b is minus 2, so 1 minus 2, 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, which is the correct answer. Okay? All right. One more question from integer type. How many of you are ready for this? Okay. Any confusion, any doubts? Shall I move on? Okay. This is from complex number, my dear students. Let z1 is equals to 8 plus iota sine theta plus 7 plus 4 iota cos theta. So let me just reframe now. Z1, can I write it this way? 8 sine theta plus 7 cos theta plus iota, if I take common, sine theta plus 4 cos theta. This is your Z1. Z2 will be sine theta plus 4 cos theta plus iota 8 sine theta plus 7 cos theta. Okay. Now Z1 into Z2 they are saying is A plus iota B. Correct. So let's do one thing. Acha, there is one observation. Can you see? There is one observation. If I mark this as X, see, the real part of Z1 is actually equal to imaginary part of Z2. Same. Imaginary part of Z1 is equals to real part of Z2. So can I just write it X plus iota Y, and this is Y plus iota X. This sounds much cool. Okay, this is a clear-cut observation over here. Now Z1 into Z2 is equals to x plus iota y and y plus iota x. So this is xy minus x square minus y square. Okay, sorry, xy, then you are having, plus iota x square plus iota y square, and this is minus xy. If you multiply, that's what you're going to get. So this is iota x square plus y square is equals to z1, z2, and as per the question, z1, z2 is nothing but a plus iota b. Clearly, if you compare this and this, there is no real part in z1 and z2. You have realized that real part got cancelled. So a is coming out as 0 and b is nothing but x square plus y square. This is your b, which is x square plus y square. So just you know that this is your x, this is your y, correct? So just square 8 sine theta plus 7 cos theta whole square plus sine theta plus 4 cos theta whole square. That's it. So now you are going to get the value of b as well. Okay. So this is 64 sine square plus 49 cos square plus 56 ka double 112 sine cos plus, what about this, sine square plus 16 cos square plus 8 sine cos. So clearly 64 plus 165 sine square, 49 plus 16 65 cos square plus 112 plus 8 120 sine cos. So this is 65 plus 120 sine cos is right there. So a plus b, a is 0, a plus b is nothing but b. So this is your b. Now maximum value of b will be what? So b is actually 65 plus 60 sine 2 theta. So 65 plus 60 is 125, right? So greatest value, m will be greatest value of b. b ki greatest value will be what? Tell me. 125. So m power 1 by 3. 125 power 1 by 3 is nothing but 5. 5 is the answer of this question. Okay. All right. Clear? Perfect. So yes, this was the last question, everybody, from mathematics. Now I think chemistry will be right there. Okay. So let me just end this session so that chemistry ma'am can join. Okay. Okay. So see you guys. Bye bye and all the best for your JEE Advanced examination.
Hi everyone and welcome to Vedantu JEE English. So now we are going to start with the chemistry part for your JEE Advanced questions. So everybody do let me know in the chat box if I am clearly visible and audible to you so that we can start with the session without wasting any time. Okay. So everybody, let us start with the session. Yes. Okay. So let us start with the session. Let us do some questions of JEE Advanced. If you have not watched any lecture of mine, then you can go and watch mock test with that we have taken previously. That would really help you, because in every mock test I am taking up different set of questions. Not even a single question you will see is repeated here, right? Okay, so now starting with the first part here. First question is, for electrolyte MCl in water at 25 degrees Celsius, the following data is given. So data that is given to you is this data. Concentration is given corresponding to concentration. Molar conductivity is given at that concentration, right? And here it is not mentioned, but let me tell you, here they are asking you the infinite conductivity, right? That is, A is what? Molar conductivity. This is what I think they are asking you in the question, right? Okay, so let us solve this. firstly, you should know this equation here, right? So in this equation, what you have, this is the straight line equation of the graph, right, for strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. So basically for weak electrolyte, we need to use Corlosh law. For strong electrolyte, this equation is applicable, right? Where you can also see y is equals to, this is mx and this is c. So if you draw the graph here, that is going to be, this is y, right, and this is x, right? It is going to be a straight line starting from this intercept with a negative slope here, right? That is minus a is just give me a second. So minus a is going to be the slope here, right? Now, after this, what we are going to know? Now, what they have given to us, they have given you two concentration, and corresponding to that, they have given you two values of molar conductivity, right? So what you have to do, you just have to put these values in this equation, right? Now, E is the intercept, E is the constant, and this is also the constant that you have here, right? So they are asking you the value of infinite dilution molar conductivity. That is going to be only one thing, right? At different concentration, molar conductivity will be different. But at infinite dilution, that means when concentration is zero, at that point there will be only one, that is, this will be the answer, right? So what you need to do, you just need to equate these two equations, right? You have two variables. You can also calculate the value of A from here, or molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Both of these things you can calculate from here, right? Rest of the part, solving these two, is mathematics, right? So that you can do yourself also. What I want to tell you is, in chemistry, different type of questions, concepts that they can ask you, right? Okay, now next question on your screen, we have next one we have, now what they have given you here, it is given that during the discharge of lead storage battery, right? So when you have lead storage battery, when you discharge it, the density of sulfuric acid fell from this to this. Density is this to this. H2SO4 of density, this is the density when 39% is consumed here, 39%, and that of this density when this is 20% by weight. Okay. They are saying that H2S of density, this is 39% by weight, of density, this is 20% by weight. Okay. That means when the density was this much, 39% of H2SO4 you had. When the density was this, 20% of H2SO4 you had, right? Now, the battery holds 3.5 liter of acid, and the volume practically remains constant during discharge. That means this is the volume that we are going to take, right? Calculate the number of ampere hours, right? That means I into T you have to take out, current into time. But time is in, first tell me I into T is Q, right? So you have to calculate the value of Q here, right? I'll tell you how to calculate ampere hours, okay? So now here, what you will do, calculate the number of for which the battery must have been used. The discharging reactions are given to you. See, this reaction is given to you. If you see, 2 electrons you are getting exchanged here, right? Okay. And if you add this reaction, what you will see, that for 2SO4, 2 negative, 2 electrons are getting exchanged. That means N factor is going to be 1 here, right? For 2H, because why 2? Because when you add these two, you will have PB. When you add these two, this will cancel out, right? This will also cancel out, right? Because they're on the same side. No, this will add, this will become 2, this will also become 2. This is SO4, this is also SO4. So, this will become 2SO4, right? So, that's why we can see that 2SO4 you have 2 electrons, that means N factor is 1, that means molarity is equals to normality. Molarity is equals to normality. Now, once you know that molarity is equals to normality, let us see the next part here, right? That means even if you calculate, see what is molarity, it is number of moles by volume. What is normality, it is number of gram equivalents by volume, right? So that means when you have to calculate the number of ampere hours, what you can do, because we need to calculate the charge, 1 Faraday is 96500, but here we also need to calculate this thing here. So for that, what we will do, right? First, you will calculate the molarity, right? Density in percentage is given, density in percentage is given. From that, we can calculate the value of molarity or normality, right? So how you will calculate the value of molarity or normality? Molarity is equals to density, right, divided by molar mass, that is 98, right? This is the percentage, right? And this is into 1000. That is the value of, that is the formula of molarity, right? Okay, now we will put this density. If you see, for first case, the density is given to be 1.294. So I put the value of density here, right? Percentage is given to be 39%, means 39 by 100, right? 1000 we have to, this is the formula, okay? 1000 will multiply divided by molar mass of H2SO4, that is 98, right? So that is molarity M1, right? Before electrolysis, because it is now, it has density of 1.294. After the electrolysis, it has density 1.139. How much percentage we are left with? 20. 20% means 20 by 100 multiplied by 1000, that is in the formula, divided by molar mass, right? Now, M2 also we are able to calculate. We have calculated M1, we have calculated M2. M1 we have calculated, M2 also we have calculated till here, right? Now, after this, what you have to do, we know that the number of gram equivalents, the number of moles are same here because molarity and normality are same. So what we will do, moles of H2SO4 before electrolysis is, even if you see this, we know that molarity is equals to number of moles divided by volume in liters. So we can say that number of moles is equals to molarity into volume in liters, right? So you can put volume, we know that that is constant, that is always 3.5, it is given in the question, right? That is 3.5. So we'll multiply this by 3.5, the value, this is 5.15, this is 2.325. We'll multiply both of them by 3.5 and these are the values that we will get, right? Now, number of moles remaining, that will be 8.314, or you can say consumed, not remaining, you'll say number of moles, because initially it was this, number of moles consumed, right? 8.314, this will be 18.025 initially, final is 8.375, that will come out to be 9.88. Right, that is the number of H2SO4 consumed here. Now to calculate the ampere hours, very important thing is basically I into T is equals to 1 Faraday, that is 96500, right? Number of moles that is consumed here divided by 3600. Why 36500? Because 60 into 60 for hour, seconds into minutes, that is 36500, because we are calculating ampere hour. Okay, so that is why we will divide it by 36000, right? So you can easily calculate this. N is coming out to be 9.88. This is 96500 divided by 3600, and you will have your answer here, right? Okay, students, got it? Is that clear? Right? Now, next question is, on your screen we have, next question is a sample of water, right? What you have here is a sample of water from a large, firstly in these kind of questions, you have to firstly see that what exactly they are asking you? What are the different formulas that you can use here, right? This was from simple mole concept, right? Yet so many things are involved in JEE Advanced. These kind of questions will be there where simple formulas will be used, but so many things will be involved. Okay, so that's why I have taken up these questions, right? So now if you see this here, this is based on the very simple concept of electrochemistry, that is resistance, conductance, conductivity, kappa, right? Molar conductivity, based on that, right? First, you have to absorb what exactly they are giving you. What is the picture they have given you in the question? A sample of water from a large swimming pool has a resistance of 9200 ohm, right? So a sample of water, you have a sample of water, right, from a large swimming pool. You have a very large swimming pool, right, has a resistance of, this is the resistance of water, right? You can write it, this is the resistance of water, right? You can also write it like this, the resistance of water, right? At this temperature, when placed in a certain conducting cell, when filled with, when we add this much of KCl, this is the molarity of KCl that is given to you, right? The cell has a resistance of 85 ohm. When filled with this KCl solution, the cell has a resistance of this, right? That means here they have given you the resistance of KCl, right? That is given to you. 500 gram of NaCl were dissolved in a pool. Okay, that means this is the mass of NaCl. Mass of NaCl, right? In a pool, that means what we're when filled with this much of KCl solution, the cell resistance was left to be this. Okay, so we have a sample of water from a large swimming pool has a resistance this that we have collected from swimming pool that has this resistance in a certain conductance cell. When filled with this much of KCl solution, the cell has a resistance 85. Okay, this much was dissolved in the pool, which was thoroughly stirred. Now they are saying that in the pool, not in the sample, in the pool, 500 gram of NaCl were dissolved in the pool, which was thoroughly stirred. A sample of this solution gave resistance 7600. That means this they are talking about resistance of NaCl, right? So when NaCl they are saying in the solution, here they are talking about in that small portion, a sample, they have added KCl. Here they are saying in that pool you are adding 500 gram. Understood? In one case they are adding in a pool, one case they have a sample where they are adding KCl, in one case they have a pool in which they are adding NaCl, right? 500 gram. Calculate the volume of water in the pool. So what you have to calculate? Volume. From all these things you have to calculate the volume of water. In that swimming pool, how many, like what amount of water it must have, right? Molar conductance of NaCl at that concentration is this. That means molar conductance is given to you. This is the molar conductance, right? And molar conductivity of KCl at this is given to be this. Again, this is given to you. So now here, what we can do is, we need to jump to the pool. For pool, they have given us the NaCl mass, right? And after that, resistance had become this. So we know the concentration of NaCl, we don't know. We know the mass of NaCl, then we know the resistance of NaCl, right? So it's a very, very interesting question. One by one, we have to solve it for different parts, okay? So first is for KCl. Tell me in the chat box what was KCl. It was in the pool or it was in the sample? It was in the sample, right? KCl was in the sample. So in the sample, we know that this is the formula. Molar conductance is equals to kappa into 1000 by molarity, right? We know that for KCl, what is given to us? Molar conductance is given to us. If you see this, molar conductance is given to us for KCl, right? Molar conductivity, conductance is same thing. If they have not written molar, that means they are talking about kappa, right? So this you can say, right, this is, you can specify this is for NaCl, and this you can specify that is for KCl. Okay, you must specify that is for KCl. Okay, that is for KCl. Now what I'll do here, this is molar conductance is equals to kappa into 1000 by molarity. Now here what you will do, we know the value of molar conductance for KCl, it is given in the question, right? Molarity is also given to you. If you can see here, molarity is also given to you for KCl, right? Okay, ma'am. And 1000, this is in the formula. Kappa we can find out from here. Kappa is coming out to be 2.76 into 10 raised power minus 3. Kappa is the conductivity. Listen students, for this you also should know the definition. Kappa is the conductivity, conductance of per volume, unit volume. Now, conductivity for unit volume. Let's say I have, this is the sample and this is the pool, and this is the pool. This is the pool. Okay, this is the sample. This is the sample that I have taken. And this is the molar conductivity of per unit volume, that is molar, not molar conductivity, this is the conductance of per unit volume, that is conductivity. Now for this pool also kappa is same. For this sample also kappa, we are calculating for that unit volume, right? So that means that is going to remain same only, right? That is going to remain same only, right? So kappa, we don't need to worry about that, right? Now, if you see this, kappa for KCl we have got, right? That is coming out to be 2.7 into 10 raised power minus 3. Now, KCl is there in that sample. So, in that sample, KCl, how much per unit volume, how much KCl you have, that is, we have calculated, okay? Now, we know that you can easily calculate it like this also, rather than L by A, you can calculate this. Kappa is equals to G into G star. G is 1 by resistance. Kappa, you know, resistance, you know. For KCl, do we know the resistance? For KCl, we know the resistance is coming out to be 85, right? So what we will do, we'll just put the value. This will be 1 by 85. This kappa is coming out to be 2.7 into 10 raised power minus 3. G star you can easily calculate from here, right? Okay. G star is the cell constant, that is L by A, that is definitely constant. It is a constant that you need to calculate, right? So we have calculated the value of L by A, that is coming out to be, this is G star, that is cell constant, that is coming out to be this. Got it or not? If you don't want to see this thing here, because this might be confusing for some students out there, so I'll just substitute this with G star, okay? So that would be better for you, right, to understand the concept. Okay. Wait a minute. So I'll just substitute G star. This is G star. Kappa is equals to, you should know this formula here, right? Because this you have calculated there also. So I'll just put this formula here, right? Because I know you guys are going to see this after the class as well, right? So here it will be kappa is equals to G into G star, right? G is 1 by R and G star we will calculate, right? So we can say that here, this is, we are calculating it for kappa, right? So kappa is equals to 1 by R G star. So we'll calculate the value of G star here, right? G star is equals to kappa into resistance, that will come out to be this. That is the value of G star. Kappa value we have calculated, resistance also we know, we have calculated the value of cell constant here. Cell constant is constant for everything, right? Now, because we need to calculate the volume of water, right? And we have NaCl also here. So what we will do, firstly we know that kappa is equals to, if you see this question here, wait a minute. G star is coming out to be this thing, right? This we have calculated. Now, if you see this thing here, kappa is equals to G, that is 1 by R, into G star. Now, we know the value of 1 by R. For water they have given, where it is, a sample of this solution gave a resistance of, this is for NaCl, for water also they have given somewhere. This is given 9200. Okay, resistance of water. So, conductance is 1 by resistance, so that is 1 by 9200. G star is given to you, right? So, you can just put the value here, 19200. This is multiplied by 0.2346, right? Here you will get the answer. This will be multiplied by G star here, right? Again, this will be for NaCl. They have given the value of resistance to be, as you can see, it is given to be 7600. Okay. So here, what you will do, this is 7600. This is 0.2396, and you can calculate the value of kappa for NaCl and water. Now, do you understand that in the pool they are asking the value, right? KCl was given just to calculate the value of G star. See, I know this question is little bit complicated, so that's why again telling you, there was a pool, there is a sample, right? Sample information was given to you so that you can calculate the value of kappa from here, right? Then you can calculate the value of G star. Then G star you will put to calculate the value of kappa for water and NaCl. Now, ma'am, why we are focusing on water and NaCl? Because in the full swimming pool, you have added NaCl into it, that is 500 grams, and you have water. They have asked you to calculate the volume of water here. So these are our two main concerns. So we have calculated the value of kappa here. Ma'am, why we are so much concerned with kappa? Because from kappa we can calculate the value of molar conductance. Hence, we can calculate the value of number of moles. Then we can calculate the value of molarity from here. By different formulas you can calculate, right? So molar conductance is kappa into 1000 by molarity. But in that solution, in that pool, what you have? You have NaCl and you have water, right? You will take the mod of this, right? Okay, NaCl minus water, because you know this is, let's say, H positive, OH negative. What will happen? You will add NaCl. What will happen? This NaCl will resist the flow here, right? That's why we are subtracting NaCl from water, right? So once you have subtracted these two things, right, that will be your main kappa. This is into 1000 divided by molarity. If you see, for the full solution, molar conductance of NaCl at that concentration is this. That concentration means what? That concentration means when you are adding 500 gram of NaCl. This concentration they are telling you in the pool, right? So that means this molar conductance is given to you. From there you can calculate the value of molarity, right? Once you have calculated the value of molarity, everything is, now we have almost the answer. Now what is this, ma'am? We know that molarity is equals to, if you see this, number of moles, that is weight, divided by molar mass multiplied by volume. If it is in liters, that would be great, right? Now if you see, molarity is given to you, right? Molarity is given to you. Volume we have to find, right? Volume is what they are asking you for water, right? Now we know that 500 gram of NaCl is added to. See, this is the volume of the solution. Solution is the swimming pool. So that means when you're adding number of solute is NaCl in that swimming pool, right? So this is weight by molar mass. Weight is what? Weight is given to be what? Weight is 500. Molar mass of NaCl, we know that 58.5, right? 23 plus, you will add the mass of chlorine into it, right? So that will be 58.5. Now this we know This we have to calculate. This also is given to us. This we have calculated. From there, easily we can calculate the value of volume that will come out to be this much liters. Okay, is that clear to everybody or not? Right? This is the volume of pool, right? Too many things are involved here. That's why this question is very important for you, right? Okay, so I have only taken those kind of questions which you find that, okay, ma'am, difficult, ma'am, to understand that what exactly they are telling you. So here also simple formulas you had, right? The combination of different, see, it's a question where you have 2-3 scenarios which you have to think that which is NaCl, where you have KCl, it is in the sample, it is in the pool. So for pool, I'll have to think about NaCl and water. From there, I'll put the value of molarity in the pool, not in the sample. Okay, that's how you will answer this. Next question is selected bond angles. Everybody see this question and try to answer this. See this and try to answer this. See this question and try to answer this one. If you see this, selected bond angles. Now they are saying selected bond angles of 6 hydrocarbons are shown below. Arrange these hydrocarbons according to their pK values from the lowest to the highest. From the lowest to the highest, we are saying. So if you see, we have to, firstly, pKa is inversely proportional to acidity. So I'll firstly write the order of acidity here, right? I'll write the order of acidity here or acidic strength. So if you see this here, when you want to write the order of acidity and acidic strength here, what you have to see. So first we have this thing, right? Out of all of these, if you see, you need to see the carbanion stability here. Here the carbanion formed will be something like this. This is H, this is H, this is H, this is negative. Here the carbanion formed will be something like this, right? Sp, triple bond, this is negative and this is one hydrogen, right? This is to Sp, this is to Sp3. Okay, these two are quite similar. If you see this thing here, there will be negative. This is double bond, single bond. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see this is an aromatic structure that we have formed? So definitely aromatic structure means first is going to have the maximum stability, that means maximum acidic strength. Others, okay, let's see this. The sixth, we can see that here you will have this kind of structure where it will be anti-aromatic. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is anti-aromatic because it has 4 and pi electrons, right? So it is going to be least stable. Least stable, right? I can see the answer here. D is the answer. 1 is having the minimum pK value because that is inversely proportional. 6 is having the maximum pK value because acidic strength is minimum here, right? But still, if you want to solve for others as well, right? If you see, then from this only we can see this. 5th and 4th. Why 5th? Where is 5th? 5th is this one. And okay, let's compare this with this. Okay. This is more acidic as compared to that. 5th is more acidic as compared to 3rd. Can you tell me why? 5th is more acidic as compared to 3rd. That means 5th is less pK value as compared to 3rd. Reason being is this is Sp, this is Sp2 hybridized. More electronegativity, the holding power of negative charges more here, right? And in between, you will have this one, that is the 4th structure. The stability will be intermediate between these two. Why? Because this negative charge will be on this particular carbon, which is not very stable, not very least stable, right? So it will be intermediate. Here it would have been very unstable, but here it is still stable, right? So here we can say in between this 5th, then you have 4th, then you have third, right? Then second is this one. Second is this one. You can see here negative will be over here, which is definitely not stable because on double bond you have the negative charge, right? Moreover, there will be angle strain here. Moreover, there will be angle strain here, right? That is why in comparison to this sixth, right, this is more stable because this is also anti-aromatic, right? See, here also you have three-membered ring with a double bond and a negative charge. Here also you have a three-membered ring with a double bond and negative charge. So angle strain in both the cases. But here this is also anti-aromatic, so that's why it is even less stable as compared to this. So that's why in the end you have second and then you have sixth. So answer will be 1, then 5, then 4, then third, then 2, then 6, right? That is going to be the value of acidity, and pK value is going to be the opposite of that. So answer will be D is the correct answer here, right? D is the correct answer here. Next question is, next we have, find out the value of expression x minus y for the complex compound ZnACAC twice. Now, if you see this here, ZnACAC twice, first you need to know what compound is that, right? So here this is Zn, right? This is ACAC means this is C double bond O, CH3, CH2, this is C double bond O, CH3. That means it's like this. CH, C double bond O, CH3, C double bond O, CH3. We know that the resonance structure will be there overall because of the double bond, single bond, right? Conjugation here, right? So that will be spread overall here, right? So what you will have here is, that will be spread overall, right? So that is, conjugation will be overall here, right? That you can see here. Now, next important part is, this you have one compound, this you have other one, because two ACAC you have, right? Now what they are asking you, they are saying that value of expression of x minus y, total number of O, Z and O bond angles in the compound. How many O, Z and O bond angles you have? Let us see firstly. So if you talk about O, Z and O bond angles here, how many O, Z and O bond angles here? See, this is 1, 2, 1 bond angle, 1. If you see, this is the second, right? And with this it will have, with this it will have, with this it will have 1 angle, right? So that means 3 it has already. Now this 2 will have with this one. But ma'am, this we have already calculated, so we don't need to calculate it again. This with this one, this you have to do permutation and combinations here, right? So you have to, every oxygen will have a bond angle with the other oxygen. You don't need to repeat any angle, okay? So this is the fresh angle, this we have not done before, right? This with O4 is also fresh, right? This also we have not done before. Now talking about the third one here, third with this thing, this we have done before. Third with oxygen 1, this also we have done before. But third with 4, we have not done before, right? Okay. Fourth with second, we have done. Fourth with first, we have done. Fourth with third, we have done. That means total angle are going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the value of x here. That is the value of x here, right? Now, total number of sp3 hybridized atoms in the compound. So very simple. sp3 hybridized atoms here is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now they are not saying carbon atoms. If you see total number of sp3 hybridized atoms, any atom, not only carbon, any atom they are saying. So any atom means zinc also we can talk. Zinc is also sp3 hybridized. It is bonded to 4 bonds. sp3 hybridized it is, right? So that means total sp3 hybridized are going to be 5. So answer will be x minus y, that is 6 minus 5 is equals to 1. So answer will be 1 is the correct answer here. Okay. Is that clear, students? 1 is the correct answer. Is that clear or not? Yes, student, is that clear or not? Let me know in the chat box. Now, next question on your screen we have regarding a coordination complex with empirical formula. Some empirical formula is given to you, right? Is available in number of isomeric forms. Number of isomeric forms it is available. One of them A reacts with both AgNO3 and ethyl dynamic. That means En. See, if we are saying that it reacts with AgNO3, that means at least one chlorine should be outside. So in that case, this is not possible, this is not possible, this is not possible. This is the only possibility that we have, right? One more thing they are saying is ethylene diamine. See, if it is replaced by ethylene diamine, that means it should be at the cis position. So at cis position, these two can easily replace ethylene diamine here. So that means C is the correct answer here. Okay. So I have also taken some questions which are less time consuming, rather they have conceptual thing that is there. Okay. So concept based question we have here, right? Next question is the structural formula of cetivene is shown below. This is the formula. How many stereogenic centers are there in this molecule? So you have to calculate. Stereogenic means you have to calculate the chiral centers, chiral carbons. This is what they are asking you, which have 4 different groups. So you can see this here. You can see this, not here, not here. Here you can see this, right? You can see this, and also chiral center means it should be sp3 as well. And it should have all the different groups, right? So this second, this is not possible. This carbon, 1, 2, 3, yes, it is possible. This is not possible, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen. Here you will have, this is a possibility, right? Because here all the groups are different, 1 hydrogen will be different. This is also the possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any other possibility we can't see, so it will have total 5 stereogenic centers. Okay, 5 stereogenic centers here. Right, so answer is going to be 5 is the correct answer here. Right, okay. Yes. Next we have, next question, let us see, students. Here they have given compound X is obtained by which reaction. So they have given you a reaction here, right? A compound X is formed by which. Firstly, we have to identify what is this compound X. See, if you see this here, X is giving Y here. Beta, here it should also be written. I think by mistake, I forgot this. Yes, it is going to give you. Okay. Yes. So here you have, or you can also write H2SO4, right? You have KOH, you add KOH, Y is formed, and after H2SO4, that means we know that from H2. See, this they have given in the question. This is not I am writing, right? This is given in the question only by mistake. We have not printed it by mistake, right? So this is H2SO4, right? So now we know that H2SO4 is a very good dehydrating agent, right? So whatever you will have, it will dehydrate. That means this Y could be, because we are dehydrating it, it's possible that Y can be the C, this is OH, this is C double bond O, this is also OH, right? Then if you take water from here, you will get the formation of this. When you take out water from something like this, then we can see that it is giving you this compound here, right? That means, can I say that this is nothing but Y? This is nothing but this is Y. Okay, this is nothing but this is Y. Now, Y, what we have seen is C. KOH, 2 possibilities, aldol or canizaro, right? In Canizaro, you should have alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone. But here what you have is one alcohol you have and one acid you have. That is only possible in Canizaro reaction, right? So that means here we are using Canizaro reaction. That means, let's say how it is possible. This is only possible if you have this thing here, if you have benzaldehyde here, right? So I'll draw this on the next page. If you have benzaldehyde here, if you have benzaldehyde, then we know that in benzaldehyde, when you add QH, benzaldehyde, that means on two positions you have CHO, right? Now we know that here one will be converted to alcohol and the other part will be converted to acid, right? After adding H positive, you will have H here because you are adding acid, so Na will be replaced by H positive. Now we know that after H2SO4, which is very good dehydrating agent, so we will eliminate water, and this will give you the compound that you need. That is CH2. This is O. This is C double bond O. This is O. This is the compound that is formed finally, right? Can you see here, they are not asking you what is this X. They are asking the compound X can be formed by which reaction. That means you have to see this compound X can be formed by which reaction. Now you have to see multiple reactions here where X can be formed. Okay, where X can be formed. Multiple reactions we will see where X can be formed. Chal. Now one by one we will solve this, right? One by one we will solve this. X we need to find. See, when you add 2H2 PDABSO4, then this will give, this is Rosenman reduction. This will be converted to CHO, but this will not be converted to CHO. So this is already eliminated, right? Okay, so that is not possible. Then you have 2 moles of PCC in CH. So this we can see PCC is a mild oxidizing agent. This will convert this also into CHO. This is also converted to CHO. So C is the correct answer. Rest of this you don't even need to see, right? So answer will be, this is obviously not possible because you need to have on two positions you need to have CHO. It's not possible. This is also COOET, 2 moles of Dibble will not be able to convert this and this into CHO. So possibility is only C. So answer will be C is the correct answer here, right? Okay, C is the correct answer here, right? Okay. Next question is, next one is, identify the reagent 1, 4 required for the transformation shown and arrange them in the correct order. So now they have given you some transformations here. You need to arrange them into the correct order. Let us do that. Let us do that. Identify the reagents. 1 to 4 you have to see. Required for the transformation 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. They have given you 4 reagents here. See, first thing is you need to know the role of 4 reagents. Only then you will be able to answer. Okay. So if you see LiAlH4, that is a very good reducing agent, right? It converts, it's a very good reducing agent. This is also a very good reducing agent, right? OSO4 is the reagent that breaks the double bond and you attach OH here. That means if you have double bond, this will convert it into OH and then this is OH. Diode. It will form diode, right? Then NaOIO4 is a very good oxidizing agent, right? It's a very good oxidizing agent, right? Now let us see one by one. First is you have pH double bond. What is the difference? We can see this was, if this was hydrogen, I think this should not be hydrogen. This is CH2OH. This is converted to CH2OH. That means this is getting reduced. This is also CH2OH. Okay, both are getting converted to CH2OH. What is the first reagent that we can use here? See, first reagent will be a reducing agent. I think here it should be hydrogen. See, I need to confirm whether it's hydrogen or not here. Where to confirm this from? I think it should be hydrogen only, right? See, if this is CH3, so this should be hydrogen, right? So here it will be hydrogen. I'm just writing here hydrogen, right? So you are converting aldehyde 1 degree, you're converting aldehyde to 1 degree ketone. That means you are using, see, when aldehyde or ketone is converted to alcohol, that is reduction, right? When alcohol is converted to aldehyde or ketone or carboxylic acid, that is oxidation. So that means we are using reducing agents. One is LiAlH4, other is NaBH4. So when we have to, usually we use LiAlH4 only. So there are still two possibilities, right? We can have one also. We can have in the options, if we see, in first case, we can have one or we can have four. 4 is not given in the option only, so that means we can take lithium aluminum hydride only. So that means either this or this is the possibility. This is cancelled, right? So here this will be LiAlH, right? This will be 1. After that you are adding H positive, right? H positive, what will happen? H positive, this is OH and this H will be eliminated, right? So basically just like we did here, water will be eliminated here, dehydration. This will be CH2, then this oxygen here, then this CH2, right? A cyclic ring will be formed here, right? Just like we did in the previous case as well. After that, what you are doing, you have a double bond and you are breaking the pi bond, you are attaching OH. I told you OSO4 has this work. You break the pi bond and this will attach OH on both the carbons, right? So that means this is OSO4, right? Then that means OSO4 means 2, right? So here, a minute, let me just delete this. This means 2. After this, you will have 2. That means D will be the answer. This is already eliminated, right? But still we will see. Third one. Here what you are doing, you are again converting OH to double bond O. That means here you are oxidizing this. So oxidizing agent is NaIO. NaIO4. That is a good oxidizing agent, okay? So after that you will have third, right? After that you have third, right? Then last one is what you're doing, again reducing it, double bond O is converted to OH. That means again you're using just one, we are left with one reducing agent, that is NaBH4. So you'll use NaBH4 here and that will be the answer. That is D. See, we got to know the answer before only, still I am telling you all the possible things here, right? Okay. Yes. Next question is a lead bullet. Now what they are saying that a lead bullet weighing, now this one is interesting. I'll tell you why this one is interesting. A lead bullet weighing 18 gram and traveling at 500 meter per second is embedded in a wooden block. Lead bullet which is weighing 18 gram and traveling with this is embedded, velocity is given to you and mass is given to you, right? Lead bullet weighing 18 and this much is embedded in a wooden block of 1 kilogram, okay? If now, if both the bullet and the block were initially at 25 degrees Celsius, what is the final temperature of the block containing bullet? No temperature. See, simple thing is, we know that Q is equal to, I'll tell you the formulas here. Q is equals to mc delta T, right? So, because they are asking you the final temperature, we know that delta T, I'll just put it here. We know that delta T is equals to initial minus final, right? So, they are asking you the final temperature here. So, final temperature will be what you will do here. Initial minus final is delta T, no? So, change you will add here. right? Okay, that will lead to the value. So you need to have the value of delta T. Initial temperature is given to you. From there, you can calculate the value of final temperature. That means delta T you need to find out, right? So delta T is equals to Q by MC. You know what is Q? With the C, Q is the heat energy, right? So with the amount that kinetic energy, with that kinetic energy, the motion, the energy of that bullet in which it will strike the wooden block, right? That energy will be there in the wooden block, right? So we can say Q, you can easily write it kinetic energy by MC, right? Now, we need to find out two values. One is kinetic energy, one is MC. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is half mv square. See beta, m is given to you, v is given to you, isn't it? Bacha, m is given to you, v is given to you, isn't it? Everybody, let me know, m is given to you, v is given to you, isn't it? Right? So mass is given to be 18. If you see this here, heat capacity of the wood given in kilocalorie kilogram. This is in kilocalorie kilogram. That means I have to take everything in kilogram. Calories, kilogram. So mass, I'll take it in, instead of 18 grams, I'll convert it into kilograms. That will be 0.018 multiplied by, this will be half. This will be half. This will be half multiplied by 0.018 m. V is what? V is 500 square, right? V is 500 square, right? Chalo. This we have calculated, isn't it? This we have calculated, bachcho. This we have calculated, right? This we have calculated. We need to find the value of MC here. MC, if you see, MC is equals to, what is the final temperature? Okay, heat capacity of wood is given to be mass into heat capacity, that is 0.8. So mass of wood is given to be 0.018 multiplied by heat capacity of the wooden block. Heat capacity of wood, heat capacity of lead. Bullet is given to be 0.030. Okay, plus we'll add the mass of wooden block is 1 multiplied by 0.5, that is the heat capacity of wooden block. That will be your MC. Now what you have to do, put these two values here, this MC and this kinetic energy here and this kinetic energy here, right? You will get the value of delta T. Okay, bacha? Till now any problem? Till now any problem? Right? Till now any problem? Till now any problem? Now after this, once you solve this, you will get the value of delta T, right? Delta T, you will get the value of delta T from there. Wait a minute. Calculation I am leaving up to you. Delta T will be 1.08 degrees Celsius. You will get it. Right, let me see what I solved is 1.08 degrees Celsius. Right, this is what I solved. So delta T is coming out of this. Final will be equals to initial plus delta T. Right? Right? Because delta T is equals to T final minus T initial. So T final is equals to delta T plus T initial. Right? So you just have to add this. Initially it is given to be 25 degrees Celsius plus 1.08 degrees Celsius. So it will be 26.08 degrees Celsius. Right? So answer is going to be 26.08 degrees Celsius. That is given here. That is given here. Okay? Understood? Right? Okay. Now next question, let us see that. Next question, let us see that. Which of the following correctly represents the change in thermodynamic properties during the formation of 1 mole of the ideal binary solution? Try to answer this yourself. Try to answer this. Okay. If you see this here, which of the following correctly represents the changing in the thermodynamic properties during the formation of 1 mole of an ideal gas? You can see this. In a binary solution, right? Ideal binary solution, delta H is equals to 0. Delta H mixing is 0. So this is eliminated. Here delta H mixing is 0. Here delta H mixing is 0. Here delta H mixing is not 0. So this is eliminated, right? So if you see ideal binary solution, you know what will happen? In an ideal solution, so you have only two possibilities. Either delta G will be positive, delta S will be negative. So simple thing is, in an ideal solution or in an ideal, delta G is negative firstly, delta S is positive firstly, right? So here delta G is negative in this case, delta S is positive in this case. So answer will be C is the correct answer. Yes, after a certain point, it will decline and this will increase, right? Because after a certain point, this will not be a spontaneous, it will change into a, so I would advise you, you can just remember this by delta G positive, negative. When delta G is negative, spontaneous, delta S is positive, okay? From that also you can solve till here, and after that we have only one option, so that's why we can easily answer this, okay? Right? Okay? Yes, students. Now, next question, as you can see here is, next question is, this is, let us see what this is related to. Dry air was drawn through bulbs. Dry air was drawn through bulbs containing a solution of 40 gram of urea, 300 gram of water. I think this is related to solutions, okay? Dry air was drawn through bulbs containing a solution of this much of urea, weight of solute is given to you, solvent is given to you, right? I'll just write it here, weight of solute, this is weight of solvent, right? Then through the bulbs containing pure water at the same temperature, and finally through a tube in which pumice moistured with strong H2SO4 was kept. What they are saying, dry air was drawn through the bulbs containing a solution of this much of urea, this much of water. Then through the bulbs containing pure water at the same temperature. Okay. And finally through tube in which moisture with strong H2SO4 was kept. They have given you three cases here. First is when dry air has been drawn through a solution of urea and water. Second is pure water. And then third is the moistened with strong H2SO4. Okay. The water bulb lost is inner, that means 0.087 grams, and the sulfuric acid tube gained is this much. Calculate the molecular weight of urea. So here, see, this line is very important. The water bulb lost this much of grams, right? And the sulfuric acid tube gained this much of grams. This will give you actually the pressure, P, relative lowering in vapor pressure. Why? Because they have given you this, the water bulb lost this much grams, and sulfuric acid, because what we are doing, through a tube, pumice moistened with strong H2SO4, this is where we are putting it. So the ratio of this by this is going to be the value of the relative lowering in vapor pressure. This is the most important point, that now we know that relative lowering of vapor pressure is equals to lost weight of solvent divided by gain weight of sulfuric acid tube. So this is an experiment there which I am telling you the formula, right? So this is very important. Lost weight of solvent is given to you. Gained weight of sulfuric acid is given to you. From there you will calculate the value of delta P by P naught. This is what you will get. That is coming out to be 0.04. So once you know this, everything else is simple. It's just this thing. If you know this thing, you'll be able to easily answer this. If you don't know this thing, then question you won't be able to solve, right? So just this formula, if you know, answer automatically you got here. Now what you have to do, we know that relative lowering in vapor pressure is also equals to W2 by M2 is equal multiplied by W1. This is M1, right? If you see, they're asking you the mass of solute here, that is M2. So M2 is going to be W2 by W1. This is M1. This is P naught by delta P. That means you can put the value as 1 by 0.0427. Right? This W2, W1, M1 is already given to you. Right? Solvent, molar mass of solvent is 18. Water is having 18 gram per mole. So you can put all of this here. This was the important thing. This was the important thing. Mark it very, very important. Right? Okay. Next question. I think this is the last question of today. Right? Yes, this is the last question of today. Right? So just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay. So now if you see this here, it is consider the following reactions. So these are the reactions that you have to consider. Ax plus ybz is give rise to limited supply. Okay, so they are giving you that consider the following reaction. This is Ax, this is xbz. Limited supply of air, you will have the compound P. Okay, and with giving some Bz and excess of air, you will have compound Q. Atomic number of element A and B are 50. Okay, A is 8 and B is, no, A is 15. See, 15 means they are talking about phosphorus. B is 8, so they are talking about oxygen, right? So that means you have P exists in P4, right? Plus you have how much of this will be O2 because O2 exists as O2, that oxygen exists as O2, right? And why we have no idea. This gives compound P, and again you give it O2, then it will give you excess. Okay. So if you see this here, this will give you P2O6, then it will give you P4O10, right? This is the reaction that you should know, right? I can't do anything about it. This is the reaction that should be on your tips, right? Okay. So now if you see this here, this reaction give you P2O6, further oxidation will give you this. Now they are saying that then according to the given information, the correct statements you should know BAB bond angle in compound Q. So if you see this is compound P, this is compound Q. Okay. So now you should also know the structures of compound P and compound Q, right? So compound P and this is compound Q. These are the structures. Okay, this is P2O. Sorry, this will be P. I have written here P2. Kya? P4. It will be P4. Okay. So it will be P4. My bad, it will be P4O6, right? Because we're adding oxygen into it, then it will become P4O10, right? If you see this here, right? If you see this here, so P4, right? O1, 2, 3, 4. Then between this oxygen and between this, one is connected. That means all the phosphorus will be connected by one oxygen. This phosphorus and this is connected by one oxygen. 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 Then this is connected by one oxygen. This is connected by one oxygen. Okay. If you see this here, extra 4 oxygen atoms are linked to this oxygen, this oxygen, this phosphorus, this phosphorus, this phosphorus, and this phosphorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the extra 4 bonds here. right? These are the structures, okay? Now, let us see what they are saying. They are saying that BAB bond angle in compound, okay, BAB bond angle in compound Q is greater than BAB in angle in P. BAB means B is what? B is OPO. Achha, OPO they are talking about. OPO. Let's see this here. OPO bond angle. This is also OPO bond angle. If you see this here, this is lone pair, right? This is double bond oxygen. So first thing is, they are saying that if you talk about the angle here, this lone pair, this is double bond O, right? Lone pair because they are free, right? That is why they will cause more repulsion as compared to bond pair, bond pair. So here more repulsion means this angle will be less here. So this alpha angle will be less as compared to this beta angle, right? If you talk about the length here, this is there. I think in the next case they are talking about length. AB bond length in Q is less than that. See, this was greater. In Q is what? Q is this, na? It is greater only. That is true. That is correct. In Q, that means here AB is less than or greater than. If you see this here, this bond length, this is we are talking about this PO bond length. This is also PO bond length. This is X2. This is X2. Right? If you see this here, this PO bond length, now what will happen? Because you know, here you have double bond O. Right? That is the reason, because of this double bond O, single bond, lone pair, it will have development of partial double bond here. Partial double bond because of the resonance. What will happen? It will have a slightly partial double bond. It will not have any partial double bond. That is why X1 will be greater than X2. Right? That you can see here. Right? Now, here Q is having less, है ना? Q is having less, and here also they have given you Q is having less, so this is also correct. Value of X plus Y plus Z. See, what is X? X is 4. See, X is equals to 4. Y is what? Y is 2. Arre, Y nahi, Z is 2. Z is 2. If you see, if you multiply this with 3 only, then it will be a balanced equation, right? So that means Y is equals to 3, right? So X plus 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. X plus Y plus Z is equals to 9. That is definitely correct. So this is also correct. Okay. Last one is compound P is P2O5 and compound Q is this. That is not correct. This is P4O6. So that is incorrect. So D is the incorrect option. They have asked you the correct statement. So answer will be A, B, C is the correct answer here. Okay. Yes, students. So that's it for your chemistry part. Now just give me a minute. Right. I'll just end the stream. Yes. I'll just end the stream, students. Now see you all in the next mock test, right? Let us know in the comment section as well if you want more mock tests for JEE Advanced, because just few days we are left for JEE Advanced, right? So how's your preparation going? What are the different difficult topics that you are facing? Do let me know in the comment section, okay? Okay then, bye-bye students. Bye-bye. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.